All right, welcome everybody to our latest session of Candlekeep Mysteries. The group is back and ready to take on another thrilling adventure. As usual, we'll do a quick recap and then we will jump into the session. So last session we started off with the group being inside of the Sewer Keep dungeons. They were actually in the middle of a battle that had spilled over from the previous session. The large construct that they determined was sort of the command center or brains of this operation was contained, I should say, by a wall of force, thanks to Brandel, inside of the northern room. The group then started cleaning up the rest of the opponents there. It was a bit of a tough battle as there were some really lucky hits that came in. Some so far as damaging, for example, Leopold's arm, nearly shattering it and making it unusable for him for that period of time. I believe Ramban got knocked to the ground, dropping concentration on some magic. The group, however, was eventually able to defeat the other opponents in this room, not including the big guy that was locked away behind the wall of force. However, that big guy was using his very capable set of weapons to destroy the ground underneath him and actually break away enough area that he could blast out a vent of steam to hit you guys. You guys then started making your way back, realizing that this guy seemed pretty tough. Maybe you decided you didn't want to take him on at that moment with the level of wounds and things that you'd already taken. So you guys started making your way back, trying to see if you could get some additional assistance from either Alder Ravengard or others here in Baldur's Gate to try to assist you in taking this guy down. Made your way back to the front of the dungeons here, and this is where Philarain had sealed away, I think it was 4 other of these constructs, the smaller kind of constructs, in his own wall of force. When the group came back together and had a moment to breathe, Philarain then hopped back into the Mechanist box, as did Gertrude, and this allowed both of our sealed PCs in the box to pop out. However, this also dropped concentration on Philarain's wall of force, which meant we found ourselves quickly in another battle. The group was able to defeat these opponents without too much difficulty, though of note, one of them actually turned into a serpentine form that the group had seen once before. And he used that serpentine form to actually fall down a grate area that allowed him to get down potentially into the sewers underneath the dungeons. The group then was able to reconnect with Alder Ravengard outside after Ulvin, the commander of the Sewer Keep here, ran out of the dungeons and tracked down help and tried to get a bunch of soldiers, which the two of them together did. Eventually, Alder Ravengard led a contingent of Flaming Fist soldiers into the dungeons to sort of do a sweep and make sure everything was all set, and was able to discover that the large creature had made a hole and apparently had gotten out. The group had sort of guessed that this might be the case, and I think Dell popped back there and quickly scanned around, but I don't know if he specifically spotted the hole or not, but indicated that the creature might not be there any longer. The group was also able to extract Alan, the proprietor of the Elf Song Tavern at Baldur's Gate, and get him out of the dungeons. The group was trying to do everything on the up and up and do things officially, lawfully, so let both Ulvin and Alder Ravengard know that, yeah, Alan was a prisoner, they got him out. But Alan then seemed to indicate he might have some specialized knowledge about some going-ons of what happened, some things he had heard during his time in the cell. And Ulvin took a particular interest in this and wanted to take Alan with him. He had protested just slightly, and the group kind of tried to convince him otherwise, but it was not to be. Ulvin took him off to the Sea Tower of Baldurin in order to further speak with him or interrogate him, depending on how you look at it. With the immediate threat dispatched, there was some thanks given from Alder Ravengard, who reconnected with the group outside and let the group know that they had done a great deed here as far as defeating these constructs, and he indicated that they would certainly continue looking for any other signs of these constructs and try to get more to the bottom of this. You got the impression that he's probably going to call in more sort of like bureaucratic investigators at this point to really try to get to the bottom of why this happened and what was the whole point of this, and potentially track down the constructs that had fled, assuming that they're still somewhere in the vicinity of Baldur's Gate. With this completed, the group, I think, may have done a bit more shopping in Baldur's Gate. I know eventually, though, they headed back to the inn, and eventually Alder Ravengard was good on his word and had agreed to send a wizard that could teleport the group back to Candlekeep. The wizard, when he arrived, we sort of did this pretty quickly, but the wizard arrived and asked everybody to head outside of town, and then was able to whip up a quick teleportation spell and send the group back over towards Candlekeep. Once the group arrived in Candlekeep, they were able to pretty quickly touch base with some of their contacts there. So they were able to turn in the missing pages of the Book of Inner Alchemy and receive the reward for that, which was fairly substantial, and spend a bit of downtime doing a variety of things. Though it seemed like the majority of the group actually participated in research, which certainly makes sense here in Candlekeep, and that access to that great library certainly assisted them in that regard. After this week of downtime passed by, the group then was sort of getting back together in the Court of Air as they discussed some of their latest plans. There was this new blacksmith, an Azer blacksmith, who had arrived at Candlekeep during this time, and being a being from the elemental plane of fire and known for being particularly good at smithing, this intrigued the group as they had first heard about this several sessions ago. In real game time, it was probably a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, something like that. The group then approached the Azer blacksmith and bought a variety of things from him. Particularly of note is any armor that was purchased. They didn't know this at the time, but since after the purchase, were made aware that the armor itself would be immune to the heat metal spell, so a little bit of an added bonus onto this otherwise non-magical armor. And there was a quarterstaff, I believe it was purchased for Brandel, made out of this dark metal. Once all of these purchases were completed, the group was summoned to the Pillars of Pedagogy to speak to an old acquaintance. This was a letter that was given to Brandel, and Brandel took the group with him into the Pillars of Pedagogy and followed up with Silveria Savicus, who is the wizard that they originally met way long ago before heading down to Avernus. And Silveria explained to the group that there was a concern of hers with one of the seers associated with Candlekeep. The seer had previously spoken with Silveria and explained that she was studying this tome of knowledge, and after a period of time it seemed as though she got very uncomfortable and then told Silveria that she had to take care of some things, and eventually, in furthering this research, actually got a teleportation from Candlekeep, or on the outskirts of Candlekeep, over to a place called Talishar, far to the east in the Chultan Peninsula. Upon asking Silveria for more information, sort of digging into this a little bit, she produced this book that actually had its pages were made out of crystal, which was very unique. And she explained that this was the book that caused all of this concern, and she was able to show a little bit of this information to the group. Probably of most particular note of this situation is that the book itself was titled The Canopic Being, but probably the most particular issue was the fact that there were names written into the book indicating that there was going to be some type of perhaps bad stuff to happen to the folks on this list. And on that list was the seer in question that Silveria had mentioned, Myaston, and also were the names of the player characters. And this obviously got their attention, and the group was very concerned about this. Silveria indicated that she would really like it if the group could travel and essentially follow on the path that Myaston set and try to figure out what happened, track down Myaston, and see what the group could learn. The group then, being the mercenary bunch that they are, was like, well, what's in it for us, more or less? And Silveria explained that for Brandel specifically, as his time was limited because he still owed his soul based on events in Avernus, she said that she was able to track down some information. She said it would be very difficult, but it would be a possibility. And she said she'd be willing to share that information with the group, and Brandel in particular, if the group was able to follow up this lead and track down the whereabouts of Myaston and figure out what was going on. So yeah, a lot occurred last session, guys. I'm sure I missed some stuff there, but is there anything anybody would like to add to our recap?
There was a letter too, right? I'm pretty sure we received a letter that was written by somebody. that was important, who we were looking for?
Yes,
Should
so
have been more prepared.
no, that's okay. So there was indeed a letter inside of the Canopic Being. So this seemed to be a letter that was connected with the book, and the letter was written by Zemu, and it seemed to be this was the individual that actually arranged to have the Canopic Being, the book itself, sent to Candlekeep. So yeah, a bit of a mystery here as far as exactly why or what the impact is. But yes, good addition. Go ahead and take inspiration there, Dylan. Anybody else have anything to add? All right, if not, then as usual, we'll go ahead and award inspiration to both Brandel and Lexi for another entry into Brandel's journal. Thanks, guys, and let's get you guys over to the Candlekeep map and get our session underway. All right, group. So we find ourselves here in the Court of Air, just outside the Pillars of Pedagogy, where the group has learned this very strange information about this book and has decided to follow up on some leads about it to track down what is going on.
So I wanted to ask this, Adam, and I wanted to do it in game. What do I know of the temple? I mean, is it something wizards, especially a divination wizard, would know of and aspire to visit one time in his life, or is it? Do I think of it as like this evil? I think of this temple as like an evil temple, but is it a different temple, like a nice temple?
So the temple's name is House of the All-Seeing Orb. I would say, keeping in mind that Faerun is this huge place and there's these famous locations or institutions or factions all over the land, this one I would say is certainly known for its divination abilities, but I don't think it's. I certainly wouldn't say that Brando would have any association with evil with the House of the All-Seeing Orb. Probably more or less thinks of it as an institution dedicated to the practice of divination magic, and it based on the followers that go there, they're all obviously interested in furthering divination practice. So yeah, it's very much steeped in that concept. As far as any particulars, I would say go ahead and give me a history check, blind check for Brandon. Yeah, so I would say again, this is certainly a somewhat famous place. I would say, coupled with the information that Silveria gave you last time you spoke with her, which was that she indicated that she obviously knows that you're a specialist in divination magic, and she said, well, you are obviously quite capable in divination magic. Some of the best practitioners of divination magic call this area their home, and she indicated to you that their level of expertise or command over divination magic is matched by very few in all of Faerun.
Oh, okay. Well, then I would be quite interested in the visit for sure.
And there was something, if my memory serves me, I went and checked the module text, but I didn't see anything. But there was some kind of like ritual or something having to do with how to extract the organs that was in the book as well. Correct, Adam?
There was some odd information in there, and just for anybody that's listening, Module Text is one of our channels in Discord. That doesn't mean he was actually reading the module. Just want to make that really clear. But yeah, I think I gave you guys a handout, right? Where, right, so there was a note called Zemu's Note, and this is a handout that was available to you guys. I'll pop this back up on screen. And I believe this is probably what you're referring to, this is the information that was stored with that.
Well, I think what he's referring to is Sylvia said she read it and that there are, and I wrote it in my journal because I learned it. There's some rituals in there, and about taking or implanting this high person, Valen, can implant his organs into other people and make them his like servants, and that's a ritual. Is that it, Dylan?
No, but you led me in the direction that I needed to go. If you look at the second paragraph of the note, it said, "It is my honor to protect the Oracle in her sanctuary, ensuring that only donors and recipients may visit her. I have no need of the right of reclamation, for I believe in the vision and perfection of Valen Sarnistar." Um, so what is we're not with the book anymore, are we, Adam?
No, you have stepped outside back into the court of air here, and the book remains with Silveria.
I'll look at the group and say, maybe maybe we should ask her about the right of reclamation. What is it? Why is this person choosing not to take it? Is it voluntary? If so, does it match up to some of the names in the back? Like, are these people who have committed this right or opted out of this right, maybe?
So for a sort of memory check here, because again, I know it's been a week since we last played, and sometimes that stuff's not fresh in your mind. The right of reclamation very likely refers to this concept that the individuals that have been affected by this ritual can essentially have it undone. There was a hint in the book itself about some way of undoing this ritual, but when you guys asked her for more details about, well, how do we do this, she said it's literally just hinted at, and it's not very explicit at all. She just says it said something along the lines of it is permanent unless ... kind of thing.
Okay, so it's not like it has the right of reclamation in the book on how to do it. It just refers to that there may be a solution and it's known as this. I got you.
I would say it doesn't even say it's known as this, but putting Zemu's note together with what Silveria told you, you would know that, yes.
Okay. So I was doing that without knowing that I was doing that. Okay. So I'll look at the party and I'll say, the Zinru fellow fella, is that what you say for ladies? I don't know, but perhaps this right of reclamation here is we could learn more about it if we go to this house of All-Seeing Orb. Maybe somebody knows, and we could ask more about it.
I think that's on our list of things to ask, for sure.
That's true. What makes me suspicious is Zemu is that he doesn't want it. So he's a willing recipient of this of Valen, Zarnaster, of that person's, I guess, body parts. Remember how gross that was when we learned that? So I think he's happy with being a servant. And remember, if you've received a implant of Valen, then he could see and hear through this person. So Zemru is a seeing and hearing eye of Valen if he has received that donation from Valen.
I have something that might get around that, but I'm not sure if it actually will work in this instance. So something to think about, at least.
Was Zimru's name listed on that list that had our names on it?
It was, if I remember correctly, Adam. I didn't want to put it in my journal. It was so long.
Yes, the name Zemu Thal is indeed listed there.
I do not like that. Somebody want to check me for my organs? Who's good at that? Ranvon? Can you tell if I have all of my organs?
I mean, you'd usually fall over if one or two of them was missing.
Yeah, but what if I need two to be missing and I'm only missing one? You see what I mean? Can you check? Is there anything you could do?
Well, it's all on the inside. I mean, I can take a look, maybe feel around, but I don't think I'm. Well, it'll be. I'm not confident.
Well, maybe you could see if I have any incisions that maybe I can't see on my body, and then we can know. Maybe somebody cut into me. I'll take my new breastplate off. Well, actually, I haven't put it on yet, so I'll take off my leather armor. And
Okay. Well, I don't want us to make a scene. So come on, everybody, come here, and he'll walk towards the wall and just kind of indicate everyone to make like a circle around him.
No, we could go to the bathhouse.
This is all just a ploy so Brandel can go to the bathhouse. You wrote our names in there, didn't you, Brandel?
Oh, the box. Can I? Oh, is she out yet, Adam? Or is the box still wiggling on my?
No,
belt?
during this week of downtime, certainly Lexi has been out.
You left me in the box for a week? What's wrong with you guys? So, would we be missing an organ, or would one of our organs be replaced by the crusty mummy's organ?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to get Ramban to look at. Do you see anything?
Can I make a check to see if he's got incisions or visibly missing organs from the outside?
So unless there's something odd about your body itself, Cedric, I don't think any check is necessary here to look for incisions. If you're stripping down to pretty much just small clothes and allowing Ramban to kind of do a quick inspection around you, only incisions that you have already dictated Cedric has would be there. There doesn't seem to be any new incisions.
Are you sure, Ramban? You don't see anything? Nothing?
I mean, you look good to me. There's a couple cuts here, like a scar here. Has that always been there?
Well, yeah, that scar is from, you know what I don't know the names of them, but they look like stalagmites and they got ropes for hands. That one sucked pretty bad. But the one on the other side, that was from that construct fellow. But other than that, no. And,
I mean, considering what you are up against, you're lucky to just have these.
yeah, I know. What you did with Leopold's arm was quite fantastic. I feel very comfortable with your knowledge of medicine. That's why I asked you. But if I'm not missing anything, I assume no one else is either.
I'm fine, thank you.
So why is our name in that book?
Well, I think it was placed in there as a way of summoning us, and it actually might be a blessing. Maybe we have now access to the temple because we may be perceived in their eyes as donors or recipients. So I'm very concerned about that, and I'm angry about it. I'm not giving up another piece of my body or soul to anyone outside of my will.
Well, if we just stay here, there's absolutely no way that could happen. But if we willingly go to there, then that's probably inviting us to whatever person wants us there.
So likely whoever we are going to meet knows we're coming and wants us to come. So it sounds like a trap to me, but
I agree.
there's someone that needs our help.
That's also true. And
I need to get back as soon as possible, and Silveria will tell me where I need to go next. So if we'll be off, I would be quite content with that.
We're going to the orb east of Cholt?
Yes, and Silveria said she'd be able to get us there via teleportation circle.
And then we're just looking for this chick that found the book?
Yeah, essentially, that's one of our goals. Absolutely.
And she knows where you're supposed to go next to get back your soul.
No, when we get back here to the Candlekeep, if we live through this side quest adventure, hopefully Silveria will tell us where I need to go.
Why can't she just tell you right now?
because she needs someone capable to do this job, it sounds like.
So basically she's blackmailing us into saving her friend from this mummy person.
So we, in our turn, can save our friend from a demon person. Yes, that's what it seems.
Okay, I'm game.
And there are very few sages here. I mean, it's a high post that Maestra's in. A very important figure here in Candlekeep.
Well, let's go find her, unless anybody has any explicit rejection to the idea.
Let's go kick some mummy ass.
Hey, what's Booger doing over there by the Temple of Ogma? Can you call him over, Lexi, or is he now at liberty here?
That's not Booger. That's another homunculus.
Oh, well, can everyone keep their homunculus to themselves, please? I work here. And please, Cedric, put your clothes back on.
That's what I'm doing.
Boy, we're just quite a sight, aren't we?
When aren't we?
Half of us are naked. The other is like random snot monsters walking around. Anyway, um, uh, I think I've got everything I need. Honestly, I travel light these days. Let's, unless anyone else has anything they need to get grab, let's get on, get going.
I could use some diamond dust, but I think we have some of that, right?
I actually do have quite a bit.
Okay, then I'm good.
Ramban, give him some of your diamond dust.
Oh, how much do you need?
The spell calls for 100 gold pieces worth, so I don't know, a good pinch.
I've got 400 gold pieces worth. How much do you want?
I just one use of the spell should be good for now, and then I can buy some myself when we get back.
All right, here you go, and I'll hand over 100 gold worth of diamond dust.
Make a con check to see if you sneeze while you're handing it over.
World's most expensive sneeze.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
anything else? Oh,
yep. No, that's exactly the question I was going to ask. Is everybody prepared?
Just so you know, Adam, I realized that I had an infusion on Frederick, and I just turned it off, and I put a new one on me for a cloak of protection. So if Frederick was fighting someone and needed to concentrate on the spell, he might be having some issues right now. So
He is boned. All right, got it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so with that in mind, you guys are sort of gathered here, ready to go. It doesn't take too much longer before you notice Silveria herself exits out of the Pillars of Pedagogy and heads over towards you, and you see she looks you up and down and says, I presume you've had enough time to prepare and you're ready to go?
Yes, I think we'll take your mission on here, Silveris, but could you do us a favor while we're gone?
I am quite busy, but what is it? I'll see if I can add it to my tasks.
If maybe you could put an associate researcher on that right of reclamation. It's listed here in Zimru's note. If you could find more information about that, that may help us while we're there, if possible.
It will be challenging. This book doesn't have much in the way of contemporaneous sources that I could pull from. I'll see if there is anything that can be done.
I really appreciate that, but I think we're all prepared and ready to disembark.
Then follow me outside of the gates. All right, and then she will lead you guys outside of the gates here, and in short order, she will quickly cast a spell to teleport you guys off to another location. Once the teleportation spell completes, you suddenly find yourself in a much different environment. Right away, the difference you notice is the heat, the sweltering heat. It is very hot and humid here, all around you. You can hear the sound of exotic birds calling through the air. As you look around, you find yourself in a fairly simple sort of like circle square, and you can see you're kind of on the outskirts of this otherwise large port town.
Are the people around us? Is anyone like who has used this this circle of teleportation?
There's definitely people around, but none of them like right on top of you or anything like that. You see a few people kind of glance your way, but nobody seems overly shocked. You get the impression that this might be more of a common thing that occurs here.
Can I look around to see if I see any kind of temple or anything like that that would point out where we're supposed to go for this House of All-Seeing Orb?
You do indeed. It's not difficult at all, as you notice perhaps 50 feet to your west up this slowly inclining path. You notice what looks to be a temple.
All right. Quick little game plan. When we go in there, I think we need to assume that the Valen variant, who the V person will be able to know that we're there. So either they'll start to put into whatever plan they've set in motion, or they'll just listen in and know everything that we'll find out. Is there anything we don't want to say in there? Or, I mean, I don't think we have any secrets, at least in terms of this, but there might be other things that will hurt us if they go out.
Well, I think cat's out of the bag. I really feel like they're expecting us. Maestra is our number one concern. I don't mind asking directly if anyone's seen her or seen her about.
Should we withhold the information that our names are also listed in that book?
Maybe to start, just
till we know more.
What's our plausible reason for coming here then? I mean, we could just say Candlekeep was hunting down the person.
Yeah, we were looking for the Maestra, the sage, yeah?
Yeah, I say that's a good plan. Just be honest, and we're here, and I've always wanted to see the place anyway. I've read about it, and we're looking for Maestra. She's here, and would like to meet up with her.
The only reason I suggested is the last person who showed up with their name in that book disappeared, and so if they fear the same might happen to us, they might hesitate to help us.
Or they might be the ones to take us. Either way.
Well, she's disappeared from Candlekeep, and she might be running around here somewhere.
Let's just see what happens. I'm trying to think if there's any little things that might be helpful here, but I'm coming up in a blank. Let's go in there.
Well, I could go invisible, and while you guys are talking, I can do some searching.
That makes sense. I think sometimes these folks can see invisible things. However, Cedric, so just I guess.
The all-seeing eye definitely doesn't sound like they won't be able to see me, you know. But maybe that's just a waste of a spell then.
I'm not sure what they'll be doing necessarily in there. It might be worth it.
It doesn't go hand in hand with being honest, though.
I'm not much of an honest guy. I have honest principles, though.
Well, this is the premier temple of divination, and right now I could see invisibility, and I'm just a humble mage. Of course, I would imagine people would have these abilities operating all the time.
Why don't you save your spelled energy for now, Cedric, and we'll just go in as this.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, we're talking too much. Let's go kick some ass.
Lexi's right. Let's go.
All right, you guys head up that path, the inclining path over towards the temple itself. As you get closer, you notice this very elaborate looking. It is quite a temple, even though it is called the House of the All-Seeing Eye. You can see it is very elaborate and looks very fine as it is raised there. You notice several what you presume to be disciples are entering and exit this temple very orderly.
Oh, looks like class is out of session. Do you have your yellow robes, everybody?
Enough minute. Back at the Candlekeep. Is their demeanor happy, joyful, lawful, neutral?
They certainly seem to be, I would say, reserved, perhaps. You don't see a whole lot of really hearty laughter and cracking up, that sort of thing. They seem to be more focused and perhaps more reserved, I suppose is the best word to describe.
Okay. Well, let's go up.
Yes, let's go up. It's quite lovely. Oh my gosh, look at the eyes on the top there. Is that an eyeball? Oh, is that emeralds? This is wonderful.
All right, is your intention to enter into the temple, or you're trying to intercept one of these individuals and speak to them?
I think we just go inside, unless someone really wants to get a bead on what's going on around here.
I think Ramban will. He'll just chat someone up who looks friendly on the way that he's walking up. Excuse me. What were you guys learning today?
As you approach, you notice this woman who's engaged in like a very brief conversation with a colleague. She sees you approach and she turns and she folds her hands right under her stomach. And as you ask this question, she smiles and says, "Asking what I learned is like asking how many different ways there are able to look at a prism."
Okay, alrighty. Have a good one, and he'll walk away.
How many sides does this prism have?
That's the question, isn't it? Unlimited number of answers depending on one's point of view, the angle of perception.
Oh, I don't like these people.
At least
Straightforward.
gotta get your answers more concise like that, Brenda. Sometimes you kind of ramble, you know? But like she was boom, boom.
Well, thank you for the lesson in rambling. Shall we go upstairs now? Is that trite enough for you?
I like it. Yes, let's do that.
Alright, as you guys make your way into the temple proper, you notice several priests are present in the temple, all with a third eye tattooed on their foreheads and all wearing simple yellow robes belted at the waist with a sash. Many carry elaborately carved and decorated staves. Some are at work sweeping or scrubbing the temple's floors, while others gaze into shrine bowls or scrutinize tea leaves. The priest who sits at the largest table has her tattooed eye decorated with gemstones. Her dark hair is close cropped, with a mark shaved into it that matches a sigil on her cherry wood staff. She looks up towards you as she pours from a steaming pot of tea. "More visitors from Candlekeep. Most delightful. I trust that your journey was not too taxing."
I'll walk up with my brand new black metal staff clanking on the fine marble floor and approach. "Oh, you're expecting us, huh?"
"But of course."
"Well, it's quite a lovely place you have here. So, what were you expecting us to do? You in your mind's eye?"
And you notice she smiles slightly and says, "I presume you are here to ask about one of your colleagues."
Now, as a matter of fact, that's true. Her name is Maestra. She's been a bit worried about her and figured she's here.
"I see. Please." You see she motions with her hand for you to join her, and you can see that there are some teacups here that are empty, and she offers for you each take a seat, and she offers you guys some tea. You can see she also motions with her hand, and you can see a couple of these other priests that are around here actually bring up some wine, some pastries, and other finger food and set them on the table. You see she looks back towards you and she says, "I presume this is not a close friend of yours, as I believe her name was Maestin."
That's Brian always messing up the names. Maestin. Yes, sorry. Tea would help clear my mind. I'll sit down. Maestin, yes. So is she about? And what's your name? I'm sorry. Brandel is my name.
"My name is Seer and Delian."
Nice to meet you. Thank you for this tea. It's quite lovely. So it seems like you are aware of where she is, and that's great. Do you know where we could find her?
"She is likely still in with the Oracle in the Inner Sanctum, I presume."
Oh, okay. That's great. So what is this all divination magic that you teach? Can you tell me a little more about this temple? It's quite lovely.
"I suppose I can share some basics with a guest. Yes, the magic of divination comes in many different ways, of course. There's both the arcane and the divine. Here we seek to blend the two and become true experts in its potency."
Oh, and the divine being Ogma?
"That is one such deity that is associated with divination magic and knowledge, perhaps."
Oh, what would the other might be? I'm quite interested in this. I've studied history, at the Blackstaff Academy and now at Candlekeep. It's something that's quite intriguing to me.
Well, we are not dedicated to a single deity, you see. We try to study divination as a discipline. Therefore, we have to keep our third eyes open to all sources.
Indeed, indeed. How many students are here? This is quite marvelous. They seem to be quite content with their studies and very happy with things going on. Are these going to turn into divination mages? And what do they find jobs somewhere in Faerun or around here? There's quite a lot of them.
Some with the talent, perhaps. Far more often, they will simply have more priestly duties here. They find a belonging into the house of the All-Seeing Orb, and they wish to see it succeed, and they come back to offer their talents and their work and their labor. So it really all depends on the individual. And you may not be aware, but Talishar here is very known for its prognostication ability. It's even the common folk seem to all boast some level of degree of ability.
So you've mentioned this orb of the All-Seer. Can you explain that person? Is it? I think I remember in my studies the name Valen comes to mind.
Yeah, oh, the Oracle. You are interested in Valen Sarnaster. Yes, what would you like to know about her?
Never met her. Is she the prime principal of this fine institution? She's in charge.
Most of us here are dedicated, as I said, to the study of divination magic, and Valen Sarnaster is known to all who study this discipline. Her works have long been an inspiration. She has lived alone for decades now, so that the influence of the outside world will have no effect on her divinatory abilities.
He lives alone in like the woods or in the temple here, or
You see, she turns towards you with this soft smile lingering, and she says, "In the temple, I suppose, is one way of saying, but not quite. You see, the Inner Sanctum is actually on a separate plane of existence, but it can be entered from the temple."
do you go and visit her, or is she completely cut off from outside influence
I
altogether?
personally do not visit her, no, but she has some connection with the outside world, particularly through her most prominent assistant.
Which would be... We're seeking counsel, so maybe pointing us in the direction of her assistant would be awfully kind of you.
Well, her assistant, of course, is in the Inner Sanctum with her, but should you visit, I assume you would see the assistant quite close to the entrance, for she is known to greet guests who seek the wisdom of the Oracle. Her name is Alessia Basir.
And Adam, can I do a memory check? Is that on the list as well?
It is, yes.
Yep.
And you said she keeps Alicia close to her chamber. Is this like all the time, or...?
Alessia is her attendant, so she relies on her to perform various duties.
Have you had any other visitors lately?
Other than my Aston?
Yes.
Well, I suppose there's been folks that come and go from the temple quite often. You must understand, being how great we are in our divinatory abilities, we get travelers and guests and those that wish to study here, and random wealthy individuals who think that we can solve great problems for them, all sorts of folks.
With that great divination power of yours, did anybody stand out? Anything that seems a little off?
Many folks have seemed a little off to me, but I try not to judge.
Yeah, we understand sides of the prism and all of that. The food is delicious.
And you see she smiles as she inclines her head and takes another sip from her teacup.
Was I was researching this temple, another name came up. The name is Zemruthal. Who is this person? I couldn't find any information about that.
Oh, yes. Well, I believe the High Priest went through the portal to visit Valen about 8 months or so ago and has not come back. We have received messages from him through Alessia, and he says he continues to study with Valen and plans to remain with her for the foreseeable future.
Is that sort of thing typical? People going there for several months at a time?
If they are capable individuals and the Oracle sees promise in them, it's not uncommon.
Before they left, did you have any interactions with them?
With who specifically?
Zemu.
I spoke with him briefly, just as a guest to the temple here.
How did they seem, if you don't mind me asking?
Zemu was very interested in all of the activities of the Oracle. As I said, though, she is a very prominent figure in our discipline, our field of work, so this is not unusual.
Right.
When's the last time you saw Zemu?
Approximately 8 months ago, before he went through the portal to visit the Oracle.
Just hasn't come back at all?
No, but as I said, this is not so unusual. Alessia takes care of all of the mundane needs, food, water, that sort of thing. Deep research and study and prayer with the Oracle can take quite a long time to learn the deepest truths.
Does Alicia ever return here?
Yes, of course she does.
How many times has she done so in the last 8 months? Often? Or...
Give me a persuasion blind check here, Cedric.
I don't have my token. Let me just drag it out.
Yep, yeah, you can do that.
Token's always so small. Here we go.
You see, as you ask this question, she looks towards you and says, I don't suppose you happen to be one of those investigators. Certainly seems as though that would be right up your line of work with that level of questioning.
I wouldn't say investigator, but this group here, they hired me because I'm awfully perceptive. And if Zemu hasn't returned in 8 months, and Alicia maybe has returned at least once or twice, then it's no reason for concern. But if she also has disappeared for 8 months, as well as Zemu, well, then maybe we owe them a visit to make sure everybody is safe. Wouldn't you agree?
And you see her smile expands a bit, and she says, Alessia returns back to the temple here multiple times per week.
That's great to know. And great to hear. And thank you for the compliment. You know, I think it's the mustache that really brings out my investigative side.
It is a strong mustache.
She chuckles a bit.
Do you have any books that you keep here?
Of course, we are quite known for our studious capabilities.
Have any of them gone missing or been stolen lately?
Occasionally that does happen, but it is fairly rare. Most of those folks here in Talishar have great respect for our institution. It is generally only foreigners that we have to worry about for theft.
I'm thinking specifically of a book that I came across Candlekeep that kind of maybe started a little bit of this. It's a crystal outside crystal. He'll describe the Canopic Being book because I can't remember the words for it. It's made out of crystal on the cover.
Such a book would obviously be quite distinctive. I'm afraid I do not recognize it.
So, are we allowed to explore the temple a bit, or the limits for guests?
You can certainly look around if you wish, but obviously there are private quarters throughout the temple that permission would not be granted for you to enter. We would expect you to adhere to all of our laws and norms here. Is there something in particular that you're interested in seeing?
Well, my friend Brendel here is quite astute in divination. So just, a general tour. We could look around and, maybe something would stand out to us. But we're not here to invade anyone's studies or privacy.
Yes, I suppose that would be just fine. Feel free to ask any questions if you wish. I hope we can provide an answer for you.
Let me ask you this, Seer. You knew we were coming. What do you portend our future to be? Like, why would you expect us, and what do you see us doing while we're here?
I presume that you come to speak to my Aston based on what I saw, which means I presume that you will be heading into the Inner Sanctum. I'm just waiting for you to ask permission to do such.
Can we go to the Inner Sanctum?
You may.
Thank
Would
you.
you like me to show you the portal?
Let me ask you this. So this book, it is missing. It's in Candlekeep, and as a cloistered scholar myself and esteemed librarian, I would think that it would bring you great alarm, and you would want it back. Is that true?
You say that it is missing, but I must protest, for it does not belong here. I am not familiar with the book, and I doubt, based on your description, if such a book did exist here, it would stand out. Crystal books are not common.
Oh, okay. Well,
I had a quick question. Just we could walk to the next room if you'd like, if no one else has any questions. But doesn't the divination, if you already see everything that's going to happen, like you already know that we were going to come and talk to you, doesn't that make your days quite boring, like a book you've already read?
Oh, no, not at all. You see, not everything is shown to me, only some things, and many of those things have to be guessed. You have to see the signs, see the symbols, and read between the lines, so to speak, to understand what is actually going to happen. It is not as though in my head I literally saw you all arrive here. It is more or less putting together different signs and symbols. I saw in my mind's eye books arriving and coming through a tall doorway, which obviously represented the house of the All-Seeing Orb. I did not know exactly what you all were going to look like, but I did know that venturers from Candlekeep would be arriving here.
And is that fun for you?
Fun? I don't think I've ever thought about it that way before. I think it is quite important and crucial to be able to see what is happening. You know that there have been many catastrophes that have befallen Faerun in the past, and our own little corner of the world here has suffered greatly. Perhaps you have even heard of something called the Death Curse.
Have we?
If you think you would like to have heard of it, sure.
I think it was worldwide.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
I thought they were a great band.
So as she, mentions this, and maybe some of you look like you know what she's talking about, you'll see she nods softly, and she says, "Now imagine somebody had known that was going to happen ahead of time. The entire event could have been prevented."
That makes sense. But then why divine that we would come and meet you today? That seems, shouldn't your gaze have been wider?
I don't choose what it is that I am presented with. That is not how divining works. I see things, and then I make sense of what those seeings mean. And this particular event, perhaps though it is smaller in note, maybe it portends something greater to happen. It is hard to say without further divinatory lookings.
Ramban smiles and nods, and he says, "Well, you've really taught me a lot here. Thank you."
You are welcome. Please follow me. I shall show you the portal.
And I don't mean to be rude, but do you mind if I cast a spell on myself before I go?
Cast a spell on yourself. We usually ask all of our students to keep their spells casting only inside of classrooms, but if you'll allow us to get towards the portal first, you can do so in the privacy of the portal room.
Yeah, I promise. It'll just be for my benefit, nothing extravagant. You're probably quite familiar with it. So, Alessia has not come back in a while. Oh, she comes every week. You think she's due back? And maybe we could talk to her in this lovely temple and not go into the Inner Sanctum quite yet.
Based on her schedule and routine, I'd presume she would be back within the next 2 or 3 days.
Well, that will do. Okay, well, I don't know. I don't presume to speak for everyone, but I'd like to go check out the Inner Sanctum.
I had a question.
Yes?
Do you guys ever use mind-altering drugs in your divination processes?
You notice she sort of smiles as you ask this question, and she says, sometimes that is required. You have to be able to expand your third eye to see things more properly. It is not something that we recommend for newcomers, especially, or those that are not experienced in the craft, but for the greatest of viewings, sometimes those type of supplements are needed.
Well, our group is pretty experienced. I bet those would help us.
Give me a blind persuasion check, Lexi.
Let's go.
Make sure you select your token before you click the blind check.
Oh, goodness, I didn't drag her. Lexi, where are you?
Itty bitty Lexi, right there. I'm not sure that worked either. Let me make sure the scripts didn't crash, but yeah, make sure your token is fully selected when you click the button.
Oh, here we go.
Yep, that did the trick. Yes, as you ask this question, you see she looks towards you and she smiles and says, I'm afraid our reserve of such supplies are only for the most professional and astute observations of what is occurring. We do not provide them to guests.
Oh, that makes sense. So you keep them, like, under lock and key?
And you notice she kind of gives a bit more of a smile and she says, oh, under much more than lock and key, magical protections, that sort of thing.
Must
Okay.
be some high level stuff. I mean, what exactly do you use that could be that altering?
We have a variety of different objects or sources, but the most potent is a proprietary blend that the followers of Severus were able to concoct some years ago. It is a quite famous substance inside of these temple walls, but those outside of it probably have never heard of it.
What's it called?
We simply refer it to the mind's eye.
Oh, how curious. And that's wow. I'm gonna look over at Lexi and I'm gonna try to wink at her.
So
Lexi
Brando-
winks back.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, Dell.
Brendel, is this the mind's eye that you refer to quite frequently?
Oh, no, I've never touched that stuff. It's just my own mind's eye I've come up with. I can't imagine what would happen to me if I was influenced under this hallucinatory drugs.
We should find out someday.
Maybe when there's a party, when all this is resolved.
I heard you got naked at the last party. At least that's what Frederick's rendition is.
Oh, Seer, these guys only jest. I would never bear my full Monty for everyone to see, unless I'm in proper quarters.
Sanctum, right? Let's go check that out.
You notice the woman leads you to this side chamber here, and you can see that there is a literal portal, like a metal circle built really close to the wall. There's probably a foot past the metal circle, and then there's simply wall there. You notice she looks towards you and says, feel free to cast your spell now, Brandel.
Okay, he's not nervous at all and casts this.
Alright, you cast the spell, making some motions with your hands and incanting some words. And you notice she inclines her head then. You see she moves up towards the portal, and she kind of touches it in a few different places at once, and you can hear her whispering some quiet words, and suddenly you notice the area inside of the metal ring is suddenly changed, as though there's a kaleidoscope of colors laid out before you, most of them yellows and bronzes. You see she steps back and motions towards it, and she says, "You may enter now."
While she did that, Adam, is it possible if I could try to memorize the pattern and what she said?
It'd probably be pretty challenging. Give me a blind perception check at disadvantage.
Can I use my inspiration to make it even?
Sure.
I will be doing that. And perception check coming your way. Blind check, of course.
Yep. It was pretty difficult to make out what she said. You could probably see the places on the metal that she actually touched. You know it was a pattern. You think you've got the most part of the pattern, but hearing actually the words she said, you weren't able to make them out.
Okay, thank you.
Seer, before we enter, how do we get back?
From the other side, you can speak with Alessia, and I'm sure she will arrange for you to return as you wish.
Alessia. Oh, okay.
All right.
We're going to another... Mechanically, we're going to another plane, correct? Another demi-plane or something?
Mechanically, I can't tell you, but that is what she told you, yeah.
Okay.
Leo runs in.
All right. Is there anybody that is not going in? Okay, so it sounds like everybody has entered. Stepping through the portal brings you into the center of a square room. Its walls, floor, and ceiling made of glowing crystal set with images of unblinking eyes. A crystal door stands closed, but you can just make out the long corridor beyond it, and a lone, yellow-robed priest of Savras waiting for you.
I'm gonna elbow Leo and say, hey, does that crystal match the crystal on the book?
Does it?
Hard to say. I mean, crystal's crystal, right? I mean, there's certain similarities to it, but I don't think it jumps out at you as, oh, this is the same.
Yeah, Leo gives the embarrassed shrug of, I don't know.
I'm gonna walk past him, all knowing my ass.
That's not my tagline.
I'm going to step up at him and with my mage hand and see if I could open that door. Visible mage hand.
Person standing there, isn't there?
Just beyond the door. So the door is crystal, so it kind of twists your perception of beyond it, but you can make out a little bit just beyond it. And as you attempt to do so, it seems as though the door is too heavy to be opened by your hand, Brando.
Oh, okay. Just testing some things, and I will open the door. How about that?
As you open the door, you notice a woman standing on the other side dressed in these yellow robes. You see she puts on a soft smile as she looks towards you, and she says, "A premonition of your arrival has brought me here to await you."
Alessia, we've heard a lot about you. How are you?
I am doing just fine. And yourself?
Marvelous. This is beautiful. It's quite striking. What a lovely place to study.
Indeed, you are now in the plane of the foremost expert on divination magic, seeing things that have yet to happen.
Speaking of seeing things, how do we get back whenever we're done?
Oh, simply return to me, and I will make preparations for you to return.
Oh, okay. I see. Is the circle still on the door back here, Adam? And
You do not see this circle anywhere.
Okay, well, we're looking for Myastin. We heard Seer told us that she came down here, and we just want to check in on her.
Yes, Myastin has indeed arrived here to study with the Oracle. I presume she is currently in the Inner Sanctum.
Would you take us?
To the Inner Sanctum?
Yes. I mean, this is the Inner Sanctum, isn't it?
The entire area here, I suppose, is referred to as the Inner Sanctum by some, but in truth, the Oracle resides in the Inner Sanctum. It is the most central place of this location, I suppose. As far as taking you there, well, I am bid to only travel so far from this area so as to greet guests and provide them with what information that I can. I could show you just a little bit of this area, but unfortunately I can't stray too far.
Well, thank you. Are we able to stray on our own, or are we bound to certain areas as well?
You are free to move as you wish, though I will warn you that there are some trials and challenges around the sanctum that may give you a bit of trouble. Please
Well,
follow me.
yes, we just need to see Maston, thank you. His metal staff clanking on the marble floor.
To the south here is my quarters. Should you have need of me and you don't find me in this hallway, I shall be there.
Very nice. Is there a bathhouse here as well?
I'm afraid the sanctum does not include a bathhouse.
So what kind of trials are we talking about?
Well, that is really up to what you bring with you and how it reacts to your presence. Here, you can see the corridor splits in two directions, one to your north or one to the east. Either can lead you ultimately to the Oracle. Which path you take is up to you.
Which one's the best?
Best is such a subjective term, it is hard to say. You'll have
Which one would you take?
Which one would I take? I suppose that depended on what my goal was.
If you wanted to get to... Are you all like this? If you wanted to get to the Inner Sanctum, which way would you go?
I suppose if I wished to get to the Inner Sanctum, I would go north.
Then what's the point of the other way?
Some paths lead us in different directions, and isn't the decision of which path to take almost just as important as taking it itself?
So, Alessia, tell me more about these trials. Are they meant to betterment of us, or are they potentially deadly trials?
They could be, but I presume if you are here seeking the foremost expert in divination, that you are capable individuals in your own right.
Well, that's true.
Do we win a prize? Like a game?
Your prize would be speaking with the Oracle and the great wisdom that she may shower upon you. Now,
So which direction are the trials? Sorry.
Trials are all over the sanctum. I cannot give you any more clarity than that, but I wish you the best of luck, and I shall return to my quarters for now.
Thank you.
AKA, she does not want to get wrapped up in our trials.
She said to go north, or she would. I say let's just do the opposite of anything that anyone tells us to do when we're here.
Why? These people's calling is literally to figure out the best thing to do in advance. Shouldn't we listen to them?
That's for them. That's their best way. I don't know what ours is, but I know that I would like to be as unpredictable as possible while we're here, just to screw with them.
Hey, check out these blue things.
Do you think there's someone spying on us right now, Randall? Somebody? Is it possible that somebody could be scrying on us to watch us? As we're used to that happening to us?
Brian may not be able to hear. I think he disconnected and reconnected. Brian!
Yeah, he's
Dr. Brendel Crane.
Time to do my best, Brandel. Well, possibly. You should expect anything as a wizard.
That's good.
Well, I'm not a wizard. I'm a sorcerer. Shall we, Lexi? Let's loot this place.
Let's go!
All right, and as you get closer to that area, Lexi, the blue thing that you referred to is actually a large mirror.
Do I see my reflection in it?
You do. In fact, you see the crystal floor, walls, and ceiling of this room are obscured by hanging mirrors whose brightness intensifies as they catch your reflection.
Hey. I never realized I was that hairy.
Radio check.
Are you there? Yeah.
We
Yeah.
do hear you. All right, so Lexi, Dell, and Leopold, as you enter this room, you notice that the view that you have based on all of these cascading reflections is very strange to you. It's hard to even figure out which way you're trying to walk. I will need the three of you to go ahead and give me dexterity saving throws, please.
Inspiration!
Okay.
Leo, I think we're in the prism.
I think we are too.
Okay, Leopold and Lexi unfortunately both fail this save. As you do, as you're trying to walk a normal direction, Lexi, you kind of take this really strange path as you're trying to figure out which way is straight, but it's hard to do so because of all the different views here, and you end up coming down and smashing into this mirror here. As you do, you suffer some psychic damage. 14 points. Let's see, Dell, you succeeded on this and you're able to move normally without suffering any ill effect. But Leopold, unfortunately, similarly, as you try to follow Lexi, all of these different mirrors create this sort of carnival aspect where you're not sure which way is which way you're getting closer to, and you end up coming up here and smashing into this mirror, suffering 28 points of psychic damage.
Leo shuts his eyes.
Dell backs into the threshold of the room, and he's gonna be like, "Nobody enter this room. We've lost 2 to the mirrors. We need to figure out how to get our companions back without going in there."
Why didn't you get affected? Why don't we just do what you did?
I'm well versed in the tricks of the mind.
Great. Well, let's just lead us through there, Dale. We'll follow you.
Are they stuck? They can't come back to us?
They wandered a really weird path.
Hey,
And
guys, come back.
When you look in there, it looks like you're in a prism.
Lexi, as you start making your way back, pushing off that mirror and trying to make your way back towards your companions, I'll need a dexterity saving throw.
Oh boy.
Once again, this spiral of views is so disconcerting. You start making your way, what you think is towards your companions, but eventually you end up smashing into this mirror here. And take 17 points of psychic damage.
Not to... I just wanted to point out, I think Lexi has advantage on dex saving throws.
That may be the case, but on all those checks, still did not make it.
Okay.
If it's confusing to look at, just close your eyes and come back to the sound of our voices.
Leo with his eyes closed is going to start trying to feel across the
This way.
wall.
Come to our voice. Come over here.
Come to our voice. Lexi,
All
close
right,
your eyes and come
Leopold,
to our
as
voice.
you move your hands along the mirrors, you get struck once again by psychic damage, even with your eyes closed. Suffering 13 points of psychic damage.
dumb.
You can move back where you were, though, because your eyes were closed, so you're kind of moving your way back down there. That's fine.
Okay.
Okay, Lexi, we've got Leo. It's just you now. Just come.
Alright, I'll try with my eyes closed.
All right, you close your eyes, but it's difficult to make your way back. Go ahead and give me a dexterity saving throw, Lexi. All right, you start making your way back, and you can hear your companion saying, like, this way, over here, come this way. But it's very difficult, and as you move your way back blinded, you do inadvertently touch a mirror once more before making your way all the way back. And take another 24 points of psychic damage.
Did Dell's aura not pop?
So the effect would be before she got to
yeah.
the Dell's
area. Leo's going to grab onto Dell as he gets over there and is reeling from the splash shock. And holding on to Dell without moving his feet, he's going to open his eyes.
Okay. Yeah, it's again, if you're looking back towards your companions, no issue. As you turn and look back towards the mirrors, you can once again see this strange effect. As long as you're not moving, it seems like it's unsettling, but you don't feel like you're at any risk of danger to yourself.
Okay. And as I reach out and grab him, I'm going to, like, rotate him to, like, pull him through to, like, get into the hallway next to Silver. And then I'll try to do this same with Lexi.
Yeah, you can do that as well.
Well, I was thinking, since I was not going to wander into a mirror, that I would try and see if there's anything else in this room, or if it is just a terrible funhouse of terrible psychic damage mirrors.
From what you can see, based on your passive perception, nothing other than this very strange effect and all these mirrors are apparent to you.
Leo, your nose is a little bloody. You might want to wipe that.
Thank you.
I don't understand. She said this is the way she would go, so...
She said north, not east.
Oh.
Yeah, I think she told us the truth.
How do you know which direction is north down here, though?
You look on the yeah.
That was a joke.
You can tell on the map.
Well, I'm not going to those mirrors again.
All right. Well, then it looks like we're back to listening to the man's advice.
Just want to say, if we need to, I would like to try these mirrors when I come back. I think I could probably do it. I don't know what I would win, but if that's a trial, I want the prize.
Leo's going to take a moment and give himself a little healing.
Well, if you do go in there, maybe we tie a rope to you.
I was thinking I shoot a rope to the opposite end, or we could even shatter one of the mirrors and give us the ability to not be disoriented. There's got to be a solution. It's a puzzle. There's always an answer to a puzzle.
As you get closer to this area, Lexi and Dell, you notice the wide corridor you are following leads into a huge square chamber whose only feature is a large crystalline dais at its center.
Nothing on the dais, just that it's crystalline?
It's hard to make out much detail here based on the fact that the walls are crystal, the ground is crystal, the roof is crystal, and everything outside of that is this sort of black nothingness. So as you're looking from a distance, it's kind of a strange visual effect that makes it difficult to spot much. Lexi, as you enter the room proper, and then Dell as well, and then Ramban as well, you notice suddenly that there is this kind of strange numbing effect, like a strong hum, this sort of pulse of energy, and you feel yourself getting really sluggy here, realizing that your speed is halved. Ramban, at the same time, now that you're in the room proper and you're scanning around as best you can, you notice what looks to be an ornate sword hilt embedded in the center of the dais.
Hey, does anyone see that sword hilt there?
Why are you talking like that?
Why are you talking so fast?
Alright, that was great, RP. Ramban, take inspiration.
Right here, where that starts.
Should we let Brando do his eye thing to like scout before we go much further?
I well, I don't. I wasn't prepared with that one for this side quest. Sadly, I had other things in mind.
Oh,
You
okay.
came to a temple of divination and you didn't bring your little all-seeing eye? That would have been so on par, man.
Well, casting divination magic in a divination temple might be challenging.
Wouldn't it be expected?
And probably
Exactly.
amplified? I don't know, man. But hey, look, I got your back.
Do you think we should? The majority of us in this room, I'm just gonna switch to normal. Do you think we should take that sword? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it was left there, so it's obviously a gift for us.
But it's another puzzle. It's study it a bit more. So, what is it again, Adam? I was AFK messing with headphones.
It is an ornate sword hilt inside of the dais.
What's the dais look like?
It's made of crystal.
Well, how do we? Obviously, it's there, and this
No,
is.
you gotta smash it. It's crystal. I bet you that, what's it called, Lexi? What'd you call it that one time? The fate crescent fate? I bet you that could break it, right? Smash it. Well, unless anybody has any rejection to smashing it, but I think that's a good idea.
Smashing it? Destroying property?
I mean, it's a puzzle. Answer to the puzzle. I mean, what do you? Is there another suggestion, Brando?
just to make sure I understand this correctly, because what Cedric's saying clashes with what I think. Is this sword hilt like embedded in a big thing of crystal?
It is, yes.
Okay.
I'm thinking like Excalibur style, right?
It's not sticking outside of the crystal, it's literally inside the crystal.
Oh, so it's actually like on the inside, like frozen inside of a popsicle kind of thing.
Yeah, think almost of like a sheet of plexiglass with something behind it.
You think
Are there
it would
any?
melt the crystal?
I guess no one stepped on that thing yet. Is there any details Leo can see about this particular hilt that might give a clue on what it is or what it's doing or that sort of thing?
Based on passive perception, no. It's very disconcerting, I would say, based on this crystalline structure and everything being crystal. As you look around, it's not as bad as it was in the room of mirrors, but still, you almost feel like you're in space, walking through crystal hallways and tunnels, that sort of thing. Everything out of it is just pitch black with like a starry form almost. So yeah, it's very, very spooky. And I would think more likely than not, quite often your attention is drawn to that outer space type view as you can see it through the crystal walls.
Okay.
Is this door ajar, Adam?
It is not.
Can I see down his hallway through the displaced optics of the crystal door?
Just very briefly before the vision gets too difficult to look that far, it kind of gets washed out. You notice a hallway extends maybe 10 or 15 feet past the doors.
If I put my hand on the crystal with the sword and it doesn't react at all?
So you put your hand on the crystal dais.
Yeah.
As you put your hand on the crystal dais, touching the dais itself, you notice suddenly as two forms suddenly materialize up in the air nearby you.
They must have like questions for us or something, and then they'll give us the sword.
It's like a riddle.
Yeah. Trial. I get it. Yeah, they're genies.
And as they do, we find ourselves in initiative order with Cedric acting first.
Do they? I know we were just joking around about asking them questions, but do they look hostile in any way? Like, do they obviously look like they're about to swarm us?
I would say as they appear, you recognize them as some type of genies, and yes, they are wielding these large mauls, and I would say their posture is somewhat aggressive.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that looks aggressive. Okay, so because of this ability, I get a little bit of extra walking speed. I know that we were slowing down and it felt like our speed was halved. So I want to try to move back out of that area. Does it feel like if I move backwards, Adam, that I gain my speed back?
Well, it will take you 20 feet to get there, and your speed is still halved.
Okay, and then I'm just going to scoot back a little bit further, and as I'm scooting back to a better angle, I'm going to point at this one, and you guys watch that kind of silvery hawk shoot out from my finger and attach itself to the creature, kind of swirling around its head. And then I'm going to draw my bow, but yeah, I'll take my attacks. First attack coming.
Yes, the first arrow that flashes out does indeed strike into the genie.
Okay, so that will be 7 piercing, 6 from Hunter's Mark, and then an extra D8 for Dread Ambusher. Nice.
So because of how this works, it says you get an extra attack, and if that attack hits, it takes the extra damage. So take your second attack. If the third attack hits, I'll go ahead and up it damage by 8. All right, second attack is going to miss.
Okay, and then here's the third.
Yes, that one will indeed connect, so I'll add 8 onto this. All right, so 2 of your 3 arrows do indeed strike into the genie, plucking into it, and you can hear almost like the sound of rock as your arrows are connecting with this very solidly structured creature.
Perfect. I'm just going to move my last 10 feet back to here and end my turn.
All right, so you're able to tell that once you get, you can't see that, once you get to out of the room proper, your speed is then normal. So essentially, once you get here or south of here, it seems as though your speed is no longer halved.
Okay. Knowing that, is it okay if I retcon 5 feet up then?
Sure, yep.
Okay, perfect. That's it for me.
Leopold is up next.
Yeah, Leo's gonna assume this is definitely a trial occurring. He's gonna pull up his crossbow. He'll start on the one that Cedric has already been hitting, and he's gonna let's sharpshooter this first one and see how we do. Ugh.
First attack will miss.
Okay, let's non-sharpshooter this next one.
Second attack will connect as your bolt punctures through.
Leo's gonna nod at that. He's gonna move 15 feet, which is half his movement. That's gonna be him. Silver is going to go directly in front of him to guard him. And that she's going to hold an attack if either of the 2 genies get within range.
All right, on this one's turn, you're going to notice it casts a spell.
Okay, he's within range, 5, 10, 50. Yep, I'm going to dispel that, please.
You're going to cast Dispel Magic?
No, I'm sorry, Counterspell.
All right, you cast Counterspell. Which level would you like to cast Counterspell at?
Oh, God. I'm going to go level 5 with this.
Okay, your level 5 spell is successful. Burn a level 5 slot, so click Counterspell. I think it'll let you pick... Yep, there you go, perfect. Yeah, so this spell is canceled. After the spell is canceled, the genie remains at the 30 feet in the air mark. We then move to Dell.
Okay. Well, I'll step up to here, And I will attack with my Staff of Striking against this genie.
So this one is also 30 feet in the air. Can you reach that?
Oh, 30 feet in the air. Okay. Forgot about that. Then I'd probably stay where I was.
Yeah, you can do that.
And then, well, if that's the case, I'm going to take a step, and I'm going to hit the crystal twice with my Staff of Striking.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and make an attack against the dais. Your staff does manage to damage it. Go ahead and post damage. Okay, yeah, you can see that the crystal is wounded or damaged. The second time, you don't land a blow solidly enough to actually damage it.
Okay. And then bonus actions.
All right, Ramban.
Okay, I can see through the crystal, right? If I can see the sword.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and just keep in mind the dais is not really high. It's maybe 3 feet up or something like that, so you can just see right over it.
Okay, cool. I'm going to cast Bless as a bonus action with Embodiment of the Law. Targeting Leo, Dell, and Lexi.
Does Ramban say, like, I am the law when he does that?
No, that's much too egocentric.
Mm-hmm.
And then he will let Leo use his reaction to attack this guy.
Excellent. I will do that. Ooh, and now that I got Bless on me, I am going to go for that sharpshooter this go around.
Okay.
I didn't know.
No, unfortunately,
I don't
not connect.
Damn it.
All right, and then I'm going to Sacred Flame that same one.
All right, you cast Sacred Flame on this one, so you'll have to roll a spell effect roll, remember, to see if you can target and hit. Yeah, that'll certainly do it. So the radiant damage does indeed strike the genie.
That's me.
All right, moving to this one, it is going to fly through the air, hovering over top Brandel, and cast a spell on Brandel. Brandel, I will need you to make a Wisdom saving throw.
And that's not blind, right?
No, you can make that normally. All right, yeah, so you feel this strange effect kind of come down upon you, but you're able to fight it off, and it has no additional effect upon you. The genie then flies down to be right over your head. And we move to Lexi's turn.
Okay, so is the genie... This one is only like 5 feet?
It's
above
within
ground.
melee range if you get right next to it, yes.
Okay, copy that. So, Lexi will move there. Range.
All right, so these vines start to grow around you. So, yeah, the area around you within 15 feet is considered difficult terrain for your enemies. However, you notice that both of these two seem to be flying, so you don't think it's going to affect them.
Yep. And then she'll move right here to try and lash out at that one.
You chop out with your first attack, but do not connect. The second attack does indeed manage to get through the defenses and wound the genie. All right, end of the round, Brandel.
Oh my goodness, this is scary. Bonus action, Misty Step, of course.
As you attempt to Misty Step, your spell fails, and you still spend the slot.
Great. All right. That's my bonus action. Action disengage.
Okay.
10, 20, 30. Is that correct?
Yes, yep, you're moving at half speed.
All right. Reaction was my counterspell. Bonus action. That's me.
All right, top of the round, we go to Cedric.
Okay, so Cedric is going to reach across his chest and rip off one of those poisons that he has, and he's going to grab an arrow, and then he's going to smash the vial on top and coat his arrow using his bonus action.
Okay.
And then he's going to take a shot at the genie that is marked by his hunter's mark.
Okay, yeah. That will connect.
Alright. Hunter's mark damage and longbow damage.
Okay, it does defeat your Constitution effect roll. So if it succeeds, it says no damage on effect. So
Yeah, no damage, no effect.
Right.
So just piercing damage then, yeah?
Correct. So I'm going to ignore the poison damage. I will take the Hunter's Mark, and I will take the piercing damage.
Okay, and I'm down to 2 vials of my poison left, and then I'm going to take my second shot at the daze. I'm going to try to shoot it like right on the corner and see if, like, because of the angle and sharpness, that I can pierce through it with my arrow.
The arrow does indeed strike the crystal.
Oh,
And,
sorry.
Yep. No, that's okay. Yeah. The arrow wounds the crystal or damages it.
Okay, that'll be good for my turn.
All right, Leopold.
Yeah, Leo will, even though he's not managed it yet, he's going to try and sharpshooter the one that we've all been hitting. Here it comes.
Unfortunately, oh, actually, no, that will be exactly enough to strike the creature.
Yeah. Excellent. I am going, let's see, is that, no, I have to hit it with it. Okay, never mind. Okay, since it actually seems like that's kind of a decent, it's decently tough, we'll back down to a regular crossbow. I'm gonna fire
All
one
right,
more
you
time.
fire off a second shot. However, it does not connect.
I think that's all I'm gonna do there. And Silver's gonna do the same thing, hold an action to attack any of the genies that get within her range. And that's my turn.
All right.
Adam, can I ask a quick technical question, if you don't
Sure.
mind?
Absolutely, yep.
So, with my first longbow strike that had the poisoner on it, it said 9 for poison, and then it said 20 for the con ER.
Yep,
Is
that's
that
your Constitution effect roll. So that means you're trying to beat its Constitution saving throw, essentially. So
Gotcha.
it has a con score that is higher than 20.
got it? Okay, that answered my question. Continue. Sorry about
Yeah,
that.
no problem. Yeah, this is a newer mechanic, so yeah, no worries at all there. All right, so this genie is going to fly above Ramban, and as it does, Ramban, you're going to notice it has this massive maul that it is going to strike out at you with, and I will need you to make a defense roll.
Killing me instantly.
You manage to evade the first maul swipe, and then it takes a second one. Yeah, once again, you manage to just brace for this and do not get struck. All right, next up is Dell.
All right. Dell's gonna hit the crystal again, trying to break it.
Okay, sure. Yes, this will indeed connect against the crystal.
And I'm gonna use a charge.
Okay. All right, yes, you smack into it, and you notice that there is some spidering of the crystal now, as there's these thin cracks that seem to be moving along the frame of the crystal.
All right, same thing.
However, this time you will not hit it solidly enough to deal damage.
All right. I'll move there, and
Okay, Ramban's turn.
Alrighty, I am going to cast a healing word at Leo,
Hey, thanks.
and then let him use his reaction to attack this guy.
All right. This is going to be a regular crossbow to that guy.
And remind me, when you're casting the spell, you're having to use a feature to grant that, right? All right. Did we build it in so you can burn it each time? Does that have a number of uses?
I didn't think it did. The other one
that's
does.
Unlimited uses. Okay, yeah. Well, that makes it easy to track then. So, yeah, that bolt will certainly connect as you flash it across and striking into the genie.
Not unlimited, just like with just spell slot of first level. Oh, or higher. Holy moly. Okay. Wow, that's cool.
But I have to be targeting allies for them. So my higher level spell slots, which are the ones that usually have like the effects to do damage and stuff.
Yeah, Leo fires that off and then gives Ramban a thumbs up with like a wink.
And then I'll hit that same creature with the Sacred Flame.
All right, yeah, go ahead and post that and a spell effect roll. Yes, that will certainly connect as the radiant energy comes down, striking into the genie.
That's me.
All right, on the genie's turn, it is going to fly over to here. Lexi, you can make an opportunity attack if you wish. You slash out and do manage to connect on it as it is trailing away from you. Once it gets to here, Brandel, it smashes out at you with its maul. I will need a defense roll.
Shield to hit.
All right, let me do a quick calculation here. Okay, so yes, it would hit you. You then cast the shield spell, and that will make that attack miss. It will then follow up with a second attack.
Oh, I'm clicking off my token to change my sheet. Okay.
This time, even with shield, it manages to get through your defenses and slam into you, dealing 19 points of bludgeoning damage, and I'll need a strength saving throw.
Okay, I'm gonna go with... No, I'm gonna have to straight roll it. I'll use inspiration if I don't like it, right?
You can do that, sure.
Oh, huh.
Do you like it? All right, you get smashed really hard by this maul, but are not knocked off of your feet. Manage to maintain your position as we move to Lexi.
All right. So step up to this one. Try and smack it again.
All right, you step up, chop out, and do connect, carving into some of that stony body. Second attack also connects, chopping off some more. Okay, Brandel.
All right. Well, with my shield up, I'm gonna move here.
All right, give me a defense roll as you... or actually, you stepped to there. No, you're good.
Oh, I'm good. I'm gonna step... Let me do a quick... Really? Okay. I'm gonna go one more to here, so... Be my
now,
movement.
go ahead and give me a defensive roll as you step out of its reach.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, so shield ends at the beginning of your turn. So you roll your defensive roll. You are not struck by that. You manage to evade the strike.
Yeah, I knew that, of course. Yeah. All right. So movement action is going to be I'm using a charge of my Wand of Magic Missile. Here comes 4d4 plus... no, 3d4 plus 3.
On the one, I assume, really close to you, right?
No, I'm sorry, on the Crystal Dais. I'm trying to help
Crystal
break that.
Dais. Okay, cool. All right, so I'll add 3 to that damage. Okay, so each of those missiles strike into the dais, and you can see that cracking once again expands again. This thing looks like it's ready to shatter at any moment.
I'm going to say, break the dais, I'll pull the sword with my mage hand towards me. And then, bonus action, telekinetic shove this creature, please.
Give me a spell effect roll. And also post me the... Is there any limitations on size for that?
There is. It's huge, though.
Huge. Okay. Yep, you're good then. Yeah, this one's just large. All right, you try to shove this genie backwards, but it is stalwart and does not do so.
That's it.
All right, we move to Cedric's turn.
Okay, Cedric is going to try the exact same attack pattern. He's going to go first attack towards the genie with his hunter's mark on it.
This attack will miss.
Okay, and he's going to use his Stalker's Flurry ability and take his extra attack for missing an attack at the creature, cussing at himself as he does so.
That'll certainly connect.
Alright, and then the second attack, I'm going to fire at that, try to see if I can force my arrow into the crack that's forming on top of the stone dais.
All right, you aim your arrow at the dais. This certainly connects. All right, with that arrow, you see the dais itself is shattered, revealing among these crystal shards this ornate sword hilt sticking out in the middle.
Would you say like in the middle is like right there?
Yep.
Can I reach it?
Well, how much speed do you have? Because remember, as soon as you get to here, your speed's going to be halved.
And it's true. So my speed is 35. So that would have been 5 to get into the... Yep.
No, this would be 35. Let me make sure I did that right. So that's 5, 15, 25, 35 would be here.
Okay. Alright, and I'm assuming this is magical, difficult terrain? Because non-magical, it doesn't affect me.
This is certainly magical, yes.
Okay, perfect. Well, daggone it, I wanted to scoop it up and see if that would, like, cancel out the genies, but I don't have enough speed. And you see he's, like, trying to force himself forward. He's got, like, that slow motion effect look at him, and he'll end his turn there.
I've got it, guy. Leopold's turn.
He's going to do exactly what he's been doing, because it's slowly working. Regular heavy crossbow to the one over Ramban.
All right, you fire a bolt over at that one. Yeah, that'll connect as it pierces away at some of that chunk of its body.
Do one more follow-up.
That one, unfortunately, will not connect.
That is very unfortunate. He's gonna also this time actually send he's gonna send Silver bounding over here. So she's got 40 feet of regular movement, so that's right there. She's gonna dash there, going yeah, the last little bit right here. Does that count as a flank, even though it's in the air?
No, it would not.
Okay, that's fine. That is... actually, can Silver go back one step right there? That's it. End of turn.
All right, so this Dow here is going to cast a spell. All right, which level would you like to use?
Level 3, I'll burn it.
Give me a spell effect roll. All right, so you cast this spell, and indeed you are managed to counterspell the spell. The creature will then fly to here. As we move to Dell's turn.
All right. So the sword is free, right?
It is just underneath the Dow, yes.
All right. So full movement gets me there. And it used its opportunity attack against Brandel. So if I have my staff, can I stow my staff and then grab the sword? If it takes my action, that's fine.
It would take your action, yep, because you have to interact with the object to stow the staff, and then you'd have to use your action to grab the sword.
Okay.
Yep,
Yeah,
and remember,
so-
this is simply an ornate sword hilt.
Sword hilt.
Yeah, sword hilt.
Okay, so it's not the actual sword, it's just the sword hilt?
Correct, it's a sword hilt.
Okay. I thought it was an actual sword. So if it's just a sword hilt, then I am gonna lash out at this genie. It's on the ground, right?
It is flying, but it is within reach.
Okay, perfect. Instead of grabbing the sword and stowing my object.
Sure, yep, so you slide up here, swing out with your staff, and manage to connect.
I am gonna throw on another another charge of the staff and a first level divine smite.
With this strike infused with both the force of the staff and some divine energy, you notice the creature is defeated as its body turns into a fine dust and collapses to the ground.
And then I don't have another attack within range, so that'll end my turn.
All right, next up is Ramban.
This one here, it's floating in the air, right? Can Lexi reach it?
She can, yep.
How high is it floating?
10-foot mark.
Oh, okay. So she can just barely reach it. I'm going to cast Healing Word at level 2
On.
Lexi. Make sure, let me get out my ruler.
It's 60 feet,
Yep.
yeah, you got no problem.
So ignore that radiant damage and take. Is that level 2? That looks like level 1.
Nope, higher level cast is 2 plus your base 8.
Okay, yep, there it is. And then I'll let her use her reaction to swing at this guy.
So I get the 8 healing?
You get 10 healing, Lexi.
Oh, sweet. Thanks,
And then,
Ramban.
if you wish, he's asking you, with this power of his magic, to attack the Dow to your left.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I wish.
All right, yeah, go ahead and make an attack. Unfortunately, that does not connect.
Dang it.
I will step to. So the thing in the center of the room has been cracked, and we can walk over it now.
The dais is shattered. Yes, you could walk over it any time, but now you're not stepping up on it. You're stepping through shards of crystal.
Okay, I still have my action. Should I just take? Should we grab the sword hilt?
Yes, take the sword.
I'll pick it up.
As you pick it up, I will need you to make an intelligence saving throw.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna give you this roll.
Brandel, as you try to use your portent ability in this crystalline tower built to divination magic, I'd like you to roll 3 20-sided dice.
See, I told you I shouldn't prepare divination stuff.
Could be a combination roll, man. Super
Okay.
portent.
As you try to pick this up, Ranvan, the vision that Brandel sees turns to abject horror as this is twisted, making this a crit failure on you. I would like you to roll a psychic crit against yourself, Ranvan. Alright, twice as much damage. So as you grab this hilt, you will suffer 21 points of psychic damage. Alright, you managed to maintain concentration on your spell. You are holding on to this object, but it has this kind of odd feel to it, but you don't feel like this is going to be an ongoing effect.
Okay. I have 5 more feet, so I'll take another step, and that's me.
All right, and as you end your turn, we will move to the other genie, who will now fly away from Lexi without provoking opportunity attacks, as she's already burnt her reaction. It is actually going to fly past Brandel, land on this... no, I guess it'll just stay right here. It is going to get here, though, Brandel, and try to smash out once again with its maul against you. I'll need a defense roll, please.
Okay, and I did not use a reaction this turn because I just walked away.
That is
And I
true.
did, but I did counterspell. Never mind. Yep.
That is
counterspell.
also true, yes.
Okay, yep. All right, so we're good. This is a straight deal. Defense.
Yes, the maul does indeed manage to smash into you. You're going to suffer 26 points of bludgeoning damage, and then you will succeed on the strength save, I believe. Yes, so you do not get knocked prone, but you do suffer that 26 bludgeoning damage. She then follows this up with another big wallop towards you. Another defense roll, please. Once again, the maul manages to shatter right into your body, and you're going to suffer another 18 bludgeoning damage and another strength save, please. This time you are knocked prone. As you are knocked prone, I don't think she has any rider effects on that. No. So that will be the end of her turn, and we will move to Lexi.
All right. She's only 10 feet up because she's smashing on Brandel, right?
That is true, yeah.
Again. All right, Lexi, seeing her attack Brandel, she's gonna go after her.
First, slash does indeed connect as you wound the creature. Second attack also gets through her defenses, wounding her again.
I think that's about all I could do, but I'm pissed.
All right, Brandel, knocked prone, wounded. What do you do?
I'm looking up at him, and I'm just going to Misty Step.
You attempt to Misty Step, and once again, it fails.
Didn't I Misty Step? Oh, he'd counterspelled my Misty Step.
Nope, you don't see any counterspell, but both times you've cast Misty Step now, your spell simply fails.
Oh, I thought he countered. Okay.
Okay, that was your bonus
Okay.
action, still lying
Yep.
prone here.
So then I'm going to take half my movement to stand up.
All right, so since your speed is halved right now, standing up will cost you only 5 feet. You will have 10 feet remaining.
I'm gonna go a little further there. I have my actions back, so I'll see what I need to do.
All right, you end your turn, so we will move to the top of the round. And as we are about halfway through our session, guys, let's go ahead and pause here and take our 15-minute break.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right, welcome back to the second half of our session, folks. We ended the first half right in the middle of a battle, so that is right where we were going to pick up. All right, we are at the top of this round of combat, and it is currently Cedric's turn.
Does look like my Roll20 is moving a little slow, but it's loading the map.
Just helps you get in character.
Roll20 is, unfortunately, a little slow tonight, I've noticed. I'm getting a little bit lag on both sides.
I am getting a lag for sure. Okay, so... Alright, so... first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my bonus action to move my Hunter's Mark over to that creature.
Okay,
The new
yep.
genie. Let's see. With the distance, 5'10". Oh, that's too far. 15, 20. 25, 30. This is where I can get. And I believe I can angle a 30-foot cone to not hit any of my companions and still get the genie.
30-foot cone? Yeah, I would say you certainly could.
As I'm running up, guys, you see him slowly, because of the little speed effect, reach into a pouch on his side, and he's gonna pull out what looks like a really tiny heart. And he looks right at the Dell or the genie and starts rambling in abyssal, and then he's gonna take a bite out of the heart, and he's gonna cast fear. Oh, here we go.
All right, go ahead and give me a spell effect roll as you attempt to do this. All right, you notice your spell has no effect on the creature.
Because I'm moving too slow to be scary.
All right, next up is Leopold.
Leo's gonna start moving. Gonna get there. He's gonna fire a crossbow bolt. Two of them. Yeah.
Say, would you get a machine gun while I was away?
Yeah, that's the 13th level feature of it.
First bolt connects, as does the second, both puncturing into the creature.
Cool. And let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna throw an arcane jolt on that last one for them to be hurt by. Here it comes. Extra 8.
Some additional force damage.
Oh yeah, he's real close. Get him!
Whoop, actually that was too much. The lag there got it in 1 sec.
Oh man, I was like, geez, that had a really good amount of damage.
No, instead of doing a minus the number, I set it to the number. So yeah, that was pretty bad. All right, next up is Dell.
All right. 15 feet gets me within melee range. And Staff of Striking.
All right, you strike out at the enemy, and that does connect.
All right. I'm gonna hit it with another charge of my staff.
All right, yes, that smash will wound the creature. The second attack, however, will not connect. Okay, Ramban.
Okay, that creature is up in the air, right?
It is, yep.
All right, so my thought process here is I don't think I can heal Brandel enough without blowing heal on him, and that seems like a waste for combat that's about to end. So I'm going to hope that we can kill this thing. So I'm going to cast Healing Word level 2 at Lexi. For 10 healing, and let her use her reaction to attack the Tao.
You swing at the Tao, and thanks to that bless, it does indeed connect. Anything else on your turn, Ramban?
Oh, I thought its health was going to adjust further down than that. I was waiting for it to move further. I've made a mistake.
Unfortunately, that's it.
I see. Okay, I'm going to hit it with a Stick of Flame.
All right, give me a spell effect roll. Yes, the radiant energy will indeed cascade upon it and wound it.
Killing it instantly?
No. All right, the Tao will then move 5 feet to here. Lexi's already used her reaction. The dog,
Dell?
Silver, can use... yeah, Dell, you can as well.
Okay, I'm Warcaster Booming Blade with the staff.
Okay, so just for clarification, that will hit it as it's already moving, so it won't be triggered by the move effect unless it moves again.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, so the force-empowered Ren definitely hits and wounds it. Yeah, Booming Staff will connect as well.
Ooh, I'm going to throw an Arcane Jolt in there, too.
Does that take a reaction or anything from you?
No, you can do it whenever you hit something, basically.
And that includes when your battle pet hits, right?
Yeah. I'll post it here as soon as I
All right.
find it. There's
Yep,
too many features.
Yeah, I'll take that off for now, but yeah, go ahead and post when you get a chance.
To anybody listening, I'm copywriting Battle Pet. That sounds like an awesome TV show.
Yeah, when either you hit a target with magic weapon attack or your steel defender hits a target, you can channel.
Yeah, that'll certainly work. All right, the other attack does go through as well. Oof, wow, that was close, but no, it is still alive.
Oh.
All right, so as it gets to here, it is going to smack down on you, Brandel, with advantage. So I will need a defensive roll at disadvantage. Alright, so you won't shield because this will count as a crit against you. So please roll a bludgeoning crit against yourself. Damage dice twice and add them together and creature is knocked prone. Oof, okay, you're already prone, so no extra rider there, so it's just a true crit. So I will roll this separate since it's a crit.
Did Brandel stand up? No, he got knocked. Never mind.
That is going to be 37 points of bludgeoning damage. So that will knock Brandel to 0. It is then going to follow up with a second attack on Brandel. So another defensive roll at disadvantage. This will connect as well. I don't think it's possible that no. So this will count as 2 failed death saves, Brandel. And then we move to Lexi. No getting hints from Brandel about what to do right now, Lexi.
No, like
You would hear him shouting in the
Brandel.
background.
No, I was. I don't know what she was
He
doing.
was definitely silent, which
Flake!
that means like there's no flake because he's down. I don't know. Gosh. Raging. Oh. I'm genuinely determining what Lexi would do because she's been with Randall too long to take any chances that he might expire. So she's gonna administer the wooden vial of healing sap to him.
All right, let me double check rage really quick. Yeah, that'll certainly work. All right, so you're administering the healing that you received from the Dryads, correct? Out by the temple area?
Yep, during our first session.
Yeah, okay, so that is a potion of superior healing equivalent. So, Brandel, you can go ahead and roll that. I think it was 8d4 plus something, but don't quote me. You might have to compendium that.
Yeah, I think it's 8d4 plus 8. But
that sounds right. All right, so while he's rolling that, so that will restore some life to him. Anything else on your turn here, Lexi?
Nope, that'll do it.
All right, as you end your turn, your rage will end. Okay, and then Brandel, you are suddenly shocked to life thanks to a quick action by Lexi. You do have 1 level of exhaustion, and you are prone.
Okay, I grab my wand. Oh, I'm on my back. One charge of Wand of Magic Missile.
All right, you burn a charge, and at minimum damage, that will be enough as you see this Dow also turn into a fine crystalline dust that hits the ground. All right, guys, you have managed to survive this battle. I'll get us out of this music into our other music. What you notice almost right away is where both of these Dows were defeated. You can see underneath them are these jeweled necklaces.
Dell will pick up this one over here.
And I'll grab this one over here.
All right, yes, you can each add a golden gem-encrusted necklace to your sheet.
I'll walk over to Leo and say, whoo, you're gonna have a fun time identifying these bad boys. Look at this thing.
There's a lot of gems in there. It's a little gaudy, usually not my taste.
Yep,
Brandon, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I was just gonna say some sucker in Baldur's Gate is gonna pay a high price for this thing.
Dell just puts it around his neck.
Brandon, are you doing okay? I think I made the wrong call there. I thought we could defeat it before it managed to attack you again.
Oh, why? Was I down? I fell down. I must have hit my head.
We should be careful. We don't know if this place works exactly like where we come from. You might not get second chances.
I sensed Asmodeus' presence himself as I fell down. You guys saved me?
Yes, Lexi did.
Yeah, I couldn't just let you die, Saggy Balls.
Oh, Lexi, thank you.
She is the first to be able to get to you.
Oh, I owe you my life. I put my hand on your shoulder. Thank you. So they're gone? They're gone? Did we get the hilt? And oh my gosh, let's get away from that room.
Yes, Ramban has the hilt.
I thought it would do something more when I picked it up, but it doesn't seem like it's done anything.
Well,
Have any buttons on it?
I could identify it. It would take a while.
Why don't we actually just take a moment? Take 60 moments right here in this hallway.
Before I hand it over to him, though, I absolutely look it over for buttons.
Well, perhaps we should get out of the room that is heavy, makes us slow.
No obvious buttons on the hilt.
I don't see any buttons. It was a good idea, and I'll hand it over to Leo to identify it.
Leo will hand it over to Brando because he didn't prep that spell today.
See?
It's a baton handoff.
All right. I'll just start it. I'm busy here.
Okay, so you're
Ritual.
ritually.
Yes.
All right, so it sounds like you guys are just trying to hunker down here for a bit.
Yeah, I'll kind of stay on this outer rim here and keep watch this way. Make sure if those if those genie rematerialize, we can move, or I could be aware.
And Dell's just going to keep an eye on this corner over here.
Or any other threats for that matter on my side.
All right, after... Hey. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, hey, Cedric, does your rope thing work?
Yeah, I mean, I can throw the rope in there if you want to go up there.
Wait. We had some difficulties with some of the magics. Will that work? Yeah.
What magic, though? My magic worked fine. I just missed.
Well, I tried to use my portent ability and it harmed Ramban. I am nerfed in this temple.
Portent isn't magical, right? It's not like a spell. You don't have to incant it, do you?
Well, and I wasn't able to Misty Step. I normally do, and my premonition abilities seem to have ill effect.
Maybe I know it probably would be safer, but maybe before you try it, we'll just, I don't know, lay here the old-fashioned way on the floor.
Yes, it's best. I can concentrate here.
Yes, but now I feel challenged to throw my rope in the air to see if it works.
Wait, you can do that. Just do it over there so we don't get exploded on or, melted or transported to another domain, plane of existence or something or other. Yeah.
You telling me the two brains of the group don't understand what's going on? Is there any kind of magical effect or anything?
Adam, does Leo understand what's going on?
I mean, I don't think you guys have gotten quite enough evidence yet. I haven't heard anybody vocalize like, "Hey, maybe it could be this." So I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, my thought process is it's magic involving. Well, first of all, we're on a demi-plane, so it may have something to do with like teleportation. And also, while we're on this plane, maybe since it's a separate plane, you can't use your divination abilities because, well, you can't see what happens on this plane.
You don't think that's exactly right, Brandel, as you're listening to this, because you realize your divination ability did something, but it was almost as though it was used against you, or somehow your ability to see in the future was obscured and the worst possible fate was delivered.
I'm concentrating on this, but I think I could still talk and stuff. But
I would say brief sputterings, you could do that, yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's just me as a divination wizard. Maybe it's just me specifically who's affected.
Dell's going to use the helm to cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay, and who would you like to target?
Lexi, because she's right next to me. I want to see if, like, because it's a divination, if it works or not.
So you're trying to read her surface thoughts?
Yes.
Yeah, Lexi, what are your surface thoughts?
That was a really shitty battle. I could really use some skooma right now. I'm probably not going to get it here.
It seems to work, Dell.
Yeah. My Detect Thoughts seem to work, and that's divination. So maybe it's... Could it be the room? Maybe there's an enchantment in the room that prevents divination?
What about what the room is made out of? That crystalline substance is weird.
Yeah. Should we gather up some of the crystal shards on the ground that we broke?
Actually, that's not a bad idea. Here's Cedric, if you want to try your thing before we go and grab the crystal, in case that has something to do with it. Go for it. I was only kidding about it melting us, probably. If you want to do that, I'd say let's give it a shot, and maybe we'll have some more information to work with after it's done.
All right. Well, I'll walk over here just a little bit, and I'll grab the end of my rope, Adam, and I'll enchant the rope as I like run it through my fingers, kind of like I'm inching down it, and as I get to the end of the 10-foot long rope, it kind of stands up on its own. I don't know if it's going to work or not.
All right, you burn the spell slot, you notice the rope leads up, and you see there's this sort of edge where it kind of goes into this other portal. What you're expecting to see there's the rope actually connect there, but as the rope connects up and gets to that spot, it simply falls back down and your spell fails.
Well, there you have it. Didn't explode, so you can stop being negative Nancy's. Okay, we're all safe. Winces and waits for an explosion from Karma.
Eyeing the rope nervously. Cedric, you've just kind of gotten into our group. There have been, just about every other day or so, incidents like that sort of thing that have happened to us before, so we're a little gun shy. Sorry.
Well, if you want to know a secret about my rope, it enters an extra dimensional space. So, when you do your Misty Step, Brando, are you moving extra dimensionally?
Maybe I have to read the spell description in my spell book.
Well, I can. Yeah, you kind of step through a veil, and it kind of just transports you.
So, magic that transports might not work at all.
What about your blink? You want to try that?
Perhaps we should be careful with our resources.
I was going to say I'll not try that at the moment because that's kind of a big one, probably a biggish one for me. I'd rather it fail when I really need it, as opposed to right now when we're not doing anything.
Yeah, that sounds totally reasonable.
Since nothing exploded and we're still down here, Leo is going to slow walk over to this dais and grab some crystal parts with his gloves on, so he's not cutting his hands.
Okay, yeah, you pick up some of these shards of this crystal. They're fairly light. They're not even as heavy as like glass might be, and you get the impression that they're not particularly sharp, even though you are wielding these gloves.
Yeah, he'll just put some in a pouch for now, kind of fill it up with a decent sample to work with. And also, while we're here, what are these doors? Are these doors, or are these like some wall carving thing?
Those are indeed doors, yeah. They are crystalline doors like all the other doors you've seen so far. You can see slightly through them into a hallway, but then the vision is obscured.
Okay. How far down the hallway? Or just like basically what I see?
You can see like maybe an additional 10 or 15 feet before it seems like the vision gets obscured.
He'll slow walk back over. There's another set of doors over there too that we might want to try. I don't know where this hallway leads. After we are done resting, if we wanted to. I mean, Brandel's the one who's mainly hurt, but I don't know if it would benefit anyone else.
Well, Brandel's just seen what the sword is, right? So we're only spending a couple of minutes.
I think it's 1, isn't it?
He's ritually casting, so 11 minutes.
Isn't it an action normally?
No, I believe it's a 1 minute cast, isn't it?
It is a 1 minute cast.
Anything else anybody would like to do during this 11 minutes? Okay, hearing nothing, Brandel will assume the 11 minutes have passed by, and you are able to identify this hilt as being a sun blade. And for anybody that wants to know the specifics, feel free to look that up in the compendium, particularly Brandel, as you would know exactly what it does.
I will shockingly identify it and hand it to Radvan. It's yours. It's a sunblade. Should, from what I'm thinking, it's probably best in your hands.
Oh, look, they actually even have a handout for it, so I'll go ahead and give you guys this handout so everybody can see it.
Oh, I just copy and pasted what it saw it said in the compendium. Wasted effort.
I'll read yours instead of this handout.
Thanks, Ranvan. If you get to choose the command word, can you make it...
Oh. Cool. So it's a finesse weapon. That's interesting, guys. So someone who's dex base might be good with this. Cedric.
I mean, yeah, I can wield swords. But, like, you said it deals radiant damage. That's not really my shtick. You know, that I honestly believe Ranvan might have better use with that.
You also are pretty confident here, Cedric, that you would not be able to apply poison to this radiant blade that would be created from it.
Yeah, that's not my shtick, you know what I mean? So, Ranvan, I mean, like, how do you feel? I mean, you swing that mace around, it's probably lighter than your mace. You confident you can wield a sword? Are you awake?
Ranvan is in quiet contemplation as he is in awe of the Sunblade.
Are longswords simple weapons?
No.
They're martial.
Yeah, he can't have martial weapons.
It said proficient with short sword or long sword, so if you're proficient with simple weapons, I assume that you should be fine, right?
It's swords aren't simple; they're martial.
That is correct. Even a short sword is martial.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I can wield it. I mean, my arrows still take my poison, but I mean, I don't want to take something from you guys. You've been together for a long time.
I don't know, Leo. Are you dex based?
Well, I can actually use my intellect to kind of maneuver it. I am, typically firing off at a distance. It certainly, I could switch up things though. I mean, Dell also, although you've got that fancy stick.
Well, Ramban can use a staff, correct? If you were to take the staff, Ramban, of striking, you'd be able to use it, correct? And then
I
I
mean,
could use
sure.
the sword.
I just don't use my weapons that
Yeah.
much.
And actually, if the more we spread out the radiant damage per turn, as Brendel speaks in meta, probably the better off we are. The more people doing radiant damage, the better.
So are you trying to tell me you want me to take it, Brendel? Because I don't do any radiant damage. My stuff will eat you away. That's kind of opposite.
Well,
Here's
Ranvan
my-
does radiant damage, and if we give it to him, then it would only be one turn doing radiant damage. We'd be better off with two of us, in my opinion.
I can wield it while we're in here, right? And then perhaps once we leave, maybe we make a better decision. But I
Oh,
mean, Lexi probably could wield it too, right?
Brandel, does it require attunement?
It does,
Okay.
and we'd have to find a place to take a short rest, and I need one anyway.
What about Lexi? I mean, the Fate Crescent is a beautiful weapon, yes, but having two weapons could not hurt.
You mean to tell me none of you can hold that sword?
Well, I can wield it just fine, but I mean, I would have to engage in melee combat, and it's not my forte.
Lexi, you and I are both the only ones that really
And
get up
Ranvan.
close, and Ranvan.
I can't use that thing.
I like the idea of switching between Dell and Ranvan. Staff of Striking, and Dell takes this Sunblade. I think it's same, right? Ish.
Yeah, so it's a +2 versus a +3, and then the Staff of Striking has charges that deal out extra damage.
Technically, it's probably better that the Staff of Striking stays with Dell because he'll crit and blow everything up when he does.
With his might too, yeah. And Ranvan doesn't use weapons barely ever. He commands us to use ours instead.
Ranvan's in melee a lot.
But
I'm just there soaking up hits. I'm casting Sacred Flame most of the time.
but the thing is it would up my damage output because I'm striking at a D6, and the Sunblade would be a D8, right? Because it's a longsword. So
Meta here, you can consume multiple charges from the Staff of Striking at once.
Yeah, up to 3.
I mean, if you wanted that bad, Dell, then what if I took the Staff of Striking, because I can use that, and I'm sure I could probably apply my poison to a staff, right? Adam?
Yes, it is a physical object. You could certainly apply poison to it.
There you go.
So perhaps when we leave this place, we can do a weapon swap, and then.
Sure. I mean, technically, you could just attune to the sword, and I could attune to the staff here while we wait for Brandal to catch his breath.
Yes, we just need a place to rest for an hour, and pardon me, but my back hurts a bit.
You did get smashed pretty hard. That was gnarly.
I was so close to Asmodeus I could feel his ire and his hot breath. Let's find a place to rest.
We haven't been disturbed here, so we could just stay here.
I'm going to start, Adam, my rest, if I can.
All right, so it sounds like you guys want to try to take a short rest here in this hallway.
But also try to attune to this thing. We just got to figure it out and just make a decision, see who's going to take the Sunblade, since we're doing an hour and you guys don't need to rest.
Mechanically, does it take any time to unattune to something, Adam?
I don't believe so.
I don't think so.
Let me double check real quick.
I actually think it does.
It says you can also voluntarily end your attunement to an item with with another short rest. So yeah, I guess it does a short rest.
So you would need 2 short rests then for us to be able to swap the weapons. But
So Cedric, it's yours.
okay, and then we'll swap after. Yeah, Dell?
Yes.
Sounds good.
All right, I'll take the blade from Ramban.
All right, now one thing to keep in mind, I don't want to make you guys, put my finger on the scale, but remember, Cedric, one of your main abilities is being in darkness, and the Sunblade does give off light.
Yeah, I know. That's why, I don't really want it, but I'll wield it if we need it,
I can attune to it. I have an extra slot. I only have 2 attunements. And then I can just give you the staff, and then you might not be attuned to the staff, but you'll have it on your person.
If you're not attuned to an item like the staff, you could still fight it. It's still a +3 weapon, but you won't be able to do the force stuff.
Yeah.
The quarterstaff's not finesse either, is it?
No.
No.
So that doesn't work for Cedric, right?
No, my strength is 0.
Okay, so Cedric doesn't want the sword or the staff. I don't care about the staff, and I can't use the sword. I could take the staff, but I'm probably not going to use it.
Yeah.
Just because my strength's not the greatest, and I'd rather just cast Sacred Flame at things from range.
I can always attune to both and then swap depending on the situation. And then maybe if we decide to sell one, we could, or somebody wants to take one, then that's fine too.
Yeah, you could just start every fight, blow every charge from the staff, and then just switch to the sword.
Well, maybe Dell, this is so apropos. Maybe I can attune to the staff. I can use staffs.
No, he's gonna pawn it. He's gonna pawn that thing. He pawns every staff Adam gives him.
Hey, you can have this black staff back that's solely cool and says Fire and Brimstone. No, I mean that's the other thing. I could use it if I'm in melee. It's a +3 and it has extra charges. So I mean,
you've been in melee quite a bit lately.
Honestly, I think Dell having both of them makes the most sense out of anything here.
It's not a terrible idea because you can use one to its maximum effect, and then, or if we fight a vampire or something, then you'll have that one ready to go also. So I'd say Dell take it, and if we think of something else.
Aren't we supposed to be facing like a mummy? Like embalming creatures and things?
Yes.
So
we need to attune to this. Someone needs to have this attuned.
I vote for Dell.
Agreed.
Dell.
All right.
All yours.
I will take it and attune to it. That'll be my 3rd attunement slot.
But you gotta cough up the necklace, alright? I think
Here's the necklace. Yeah, Dell hands over the necklace.
All right, you guys managed to get a short rest in the hallway here. That attunement takes effect. You hand over the necklace. If you'd like to burn hit dice, you can do so. About 50 minutes or so into your short rest, Leo, you would suddenly feel as though your pack is a bit lighter, and you would notice with a bit of surprise an odd sound effect as the dais suddenly reforms and is once again a completely solid crystalline dais.
Oh shit. I'm sure he'll look at his pouch that he put those crystal shards in, and I'm sure it's empty.
You got it.
Huh. Well, I guess I'm not studying that. Maybe some pretty handy capabilities, though, with crystal that regenerates after it breaks. That was kind of tough, too. I mean, it took more than a few swings on it. Damn it. All right. There's not another sword, is there?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Did the necklaces reset, or do you guys still have them?
You guys
checked
still
off
have
the
the
necklace.
necklaces, yep.
I've got
Okay,
them.
in case it matters, it looks like last time those 2 came out after I touched it, so let's just avoid touching it then.
Yeah. I'll put them back in my pack here. And then, and then I pull out it looks like a forked twig, and I look at Lexi and I say, I could find this mind's eye that they have. I'm pretty confident I probably could locate it. And I will smoke some with you. I'm down.
Well, say the word. Whatever you need from me.
perhaps maybe 30 minutes after we, move through here and make sure it's safe, and I could help you find what you're looking for.
I think this is the beginning of a very long and beautiful friendship.
And yes, I also have the ability to open locked items. So, yep.
Well, I'm not very sneaky, but I can smash stuff.
Sounds like a match made in heaven, Lexi. So I say after we finish things up here, me and you find us some mind's eye, yeah?
You're on.
All right.
Right. Well, I'm right as rain. Thank you, guys.
And speaking of which, I can also use this forked rod here and a bit of this fur, and I can name a creature and track it down. So, Brando, I know that you're quite familiar with this Maestro or whatever their name is. If you give me their full name and a description of what they look like, I'm quite confident I could probably locate them.
Yes, I know that. She's a very prominent sage at the Candlekeep. I'm just looking at my notes.
I think you guys asked this question when you were speaking with Silvira, and she was sort of acting as an understudy to Silvira. You asked if you were familiar with her, and if I remember correctly, I said you probably heard the name, but not that you've had interactions with her.
But we know her name from the book, so we have her first and last name.
You do, yes.
Well, I can't. I mean, she's much higher in rank. I can't really describe her, but I know her name.
Well, if she is unfamiliar to you, then you would be unable to make her familiar to me. So the spell would only work if I'm familiar with the sage. I wish we had the book with us. But we do know a lot about this Zemu fellow. Maybe we could try to see if we could locate him.
He might be here.
Well, it said that he came in 8 months ago and he never left.
I suppose I should amend my statement. He might be alive here still, maybe, but he also might just will find corpses.
I don't think the spell requires them to be alive. I mean, as long as there's not really water in between us. And they're not transformed like what's that spell you can like transform into like a big ape? I've seen Frederick do it. You know that one?
Polymorph.
Polymorph, yes. Yeah. I can't if somebody is like, shielding themselves with like a spell like that, or if there's water in between us, I won't be able to locate them though. But usually it's pretty spot on and it works within 1,000 feet. The object version, I found a lot of treasure using this little twig here. So I'm only used it on another person one time, so I can always try, But I would use my only ability to do so all day. It's not like I could try again.
Why don't you save it?
Why don't we just look around?
Right, we're heading somewhere at least. Which I guess. I mean, I think yeah, either way we go, even if we went back to the mirror hall thing, I imagine we will eventually end up there. It's just a question of how beat up we get going there.
That's fair. If you don't want me to use that spell for locating the creature, then I'm going to do this. And I dump the diamond dust into my palm that Ramban gave me, and I walk up to Brandal, and I'm going to blow it into his face. And as it kind of hits him and cascades over him, he gets kind of shimmered and encased in a similar crystalline substance as what's around him. And I'll look at him and say, now, if you get struck, you should be able to resist a little bit more of the damage. It lasts for 1 hour, so how about we move it along, yes?
Yes, thank you. Wow.
That was Silver barking.
Seems Silva agreed. So I'm ready to move on. Anybody else?
I think let's go.
Yeah,
Lexi, can you punch me in my arm, please? Did I do good casting my spells, counter spelling, and all that?
oh yeah! I'll give Brandel a little punch.
Well, have to punch him a little bit harder now.
I like that the dog is actually sneezing now.
Yeah, they're going nuts right now. Shh, Silver. Shh.
Could you punch me too?
Yep.
I don't need any punches, but I do like it when you do that. That's a nice thing.
Do you want to roll it for us, or how do we do that?
Yeah, I believe it's supposed to be her that rolls it.
It's always a pain because the 1d3 is so hard to, you gotta type it out.
It's pretty nice though.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
I guess
Good, Lexi, thanks.
I'll take a punch, Lexi. Yeah.
Alright, punch.
She's got 2 more.
I can take I used a spell slot.
I have one more, so
You get 5, right?
I have 4.
Your proficiency bonus goes up.
Yeah, you're at 5 proficiency now at level 13.
Yeah.
Oh, look at me. Look at you guys. Alright, I have 2 more.
I'm just marveling at how high my skills are now because of that extra one.
Level 13, man.
It's pretty neat.
Okay, so who needs one more? Ramban?
I thought I was that one.
Cedric needed the other one.
Well, yeah, I think it says once a creature receives this benefit, it can't do so again until after a long rest. So if no one other than myself, Ranvan, or Brandol will
I think Dell asked for one, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Oh, Dell did. That's right. Jeez.
Yep.
Alright, I'm on it.
All right, Dell, there you go. Second level slot returned.
So that was all of us, right? That was 5 uses.
That was 4 uses, I believe.
Who didn't get it?
Leo didn't use any spell slots.
Oh. What were you doing then?
I was hitting it very hard.
Good job.
So if I get the level, if I only need 1 level 1 to it, am I okay?
You
Okay.
can take a 2 or less, I believe it says.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yep, the number rolled or lower. So yep, if you just need a 1, you just take a 1.
And then Dell is attuned to the Sunblade, so while this is all kind of going on, he activates it and he's out and he's looking at it and he's like, this might be a little bit more powerful than that moon touched longsword I gave you, Leo.
I have my eye on it. Don't forget.
Yes, if you require it, let me know.
I think I think it's probably better off in your hands.
Everybody looks good though. Are we ready to move forward?
Yes, ready.
All right. Dell, Lexi, lead the way. Yeah? I mean, I can scout ahead if you want. Like you said, I think there's probably eyes on us.
As you think that question, Cedric, you notice the walls actually have eyes embedded in them, and as you're moving, it is though the eyes are following you.
Like that. You see these things? That's creepy.
I poke one of them.
I
You
turn and
touch
look
the
at...
crystalline wall and do not connect with the eye.
I'm gonna put my face directly in one of them and say, hey! Where are you? You want to lead us to where you are? Can you hear me in there?
The eyes do not seem to react.
It's creepy. So they just watch us? It's gross.
guys continue to make your way down this hallway, and as you do, you notice in this black void of space outside of the crystalline tunnels, a strange grayish massive form seems to just flow through as though it was flying and moving through this dark space. As it slams into the crystalline wall, you're expecting something to happen, but nothing does. It doesn't penetrate the walls, nor does it shake or cause any kind of physical vibration.
So you said it's dark in here?
Inside, no. Outside of the crystal walls, it is pitch black as though outer space.
Gotcha.
Since it's just gray form, does it look like anything?
Probably the best you would approximate it to would be like a ball of smog, perhaps, looking like a grayish cloud.
Oh. Well, let's not break this crystal wall.
Do you think they made that, or that thing just came with this place?
I don't know. I think there's things that live outside of our regular, dimension. Maybe they're kind of crossing over here, or maybe they did make that, whatever that is, gray smog monster.
Adam, does it seem like the eyes on the wall only react when we move by them?
It seems like they are always looking at you, and when you move, they adjust so that they're always looking at you.
We have a hallway going both directions and another staggered hallway up ahead.
When you say the eyes move, is it like you can see the pupil inside it shift around and moved, or does it look like optical illusion style?
I would say you can see the pupil actually move.
Gross.
As you enter this hallway, you notice a set of double doors to your west, and then a hallway that continues to the north.
Are these crystalline doors like the other?
They are indeed.
Can Lexi look through them and see what she sees?
Yes, as you look through them, you're expecting to see about 10 or 15 feet. Instead, you see a dark mist, some type of a strange aerial ephemera.
Do you think if we open that, the gray thing outside can get in here?
Or is that gray stuff will come out?
Well, I mean, we didn't open the last door, so why don't we open this door? I mean, this is a game of odds. We don't know what's in here.
I mean, we did just see that big thing outside.
Well, the last door we could see past it. This door is different.
I don't see why not. I mean, we're here looking for someone, so to leave a door unopened seems kind of silly.
Done it once.
All right, well, I'm fine if we want to open it, but is everybody ready?
Well, that gray thing was harmless when it was floating around, but we don't know if this gray stuff behind here is going to be as harmless as that stuff.
I mean, yeah, this is true. But, I mean, what if it's just smoke? And maybe there's a brazier inside. I mean, I want to know why we're here. We're looking for the sage, right?
Yes, and we haven't looked down the obvious places. We could open every door. I mean, we're looking anyway, whether we open a door or not.
Well, didn't the lady say that no matter what hallway we took, either the north or the east, we'd end up in the sacred room? And it seems like if we went north here, then it would go east, and it would be a likelier chance of meeting up in that sacred room than opening these doors.
Or did she simply mean that no matter what, if we went to the east, we would turn around because we could go no further, and then we would still find our way?
That's true.
I still think the mirrors have a mystery that we did not solve. But they hurt, so I get it.
I'm reaching my curiosity limit. We're gonna have to open this door soon.
Shall we continue down the long hallway?
Alright.
Or open the door?
Let's
We've
vote.
talked about the
and
door
fight.
too much now. We can't not open it.
Yeah, let's vote. I say door. Ranvan?
I say door.
Lexi?
I don't know. I don't care.
Dell?
Abstain.
This is not the purpose of a vote, guys.
Leo shuts door.
I think the doors have it now.
Fine,
Well,
let's do the
I
door.
will tell you this, that the people we're looking for aren't in the dark matter of a mist. They're probably in a room where we could see where they were actually be studying or sitting, not in the middle of vapor.
But how do we know what's on the other side of the door, Brando? I mean, a hallway does not lead to a sitting room. A door leads to a sitting room. You know what I mean? I mean, don't all doors lead to rooms?
Did we just see the gray thing fly into the crystal wall? Oh wait, go ahead guys, open up the door. I thought that was a little portent that we got. Go for it, sure.
All right, Lexi, do you want to open it, or do you want me to do it?
You should do it.
All right, here we go, and I will walk up and open the door. Is this actually rigged up with the open-closed door?
It is.
Here we go.
As you open this door, you notice dark swirls of noxious steam fill this circular chamber, whose floor is taken up mostly by a large reflecting pool. Runes carved into the pool's rim glow faintly, and the heat shimmers off of its fetid water. On the far side of the pool's edge, a figure moves, its two bright ochre eyes piercing the fog.
Okay, so this is definitely not the right way, right?
Yeah, probably not.
I would like
Was
to...
that? Is that our thing? Is that the guy?
What's he look like? I mean, how? Have you ever seen him, Brando? Is that how he appears?
No, that's not her.
I mean, that kind of looks like a sage, if I've ever seen one.
Greetings. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello to you, Ramban. Welcome to my home.
I love what you've done with the place.
I sense sarcasm in your voice.
It's not the friendliest of places so far. Sorry about that.
It is not intended to be friendly, but challenging, though only through true challenge and trial can one's purpose be found.
How did you know my name?
I am a master of divination magic. I see in the future. Your coming was foretold.
What may we call you?
You may call me Valen.
Oh, you are Valen. You don't look like what we thought you would look like.
Sometimes appearances can be deceiving.
Well, you look cool. Are you cool or not?
The temperature is slightly warm in this room thanks to the steam.
He's cool. He's cool.
So, we're here. We found you. You want to tell us why our names were in the book, which I'm sure you've seen in your visions, or where our Candlekeep historian is at, or where Zemu is, or any of those things?
I'm afraid you misunderstand. You are speaking to me, but the object, the being that you see, is not me. I am simply speaking through it. If you wish to speak to me in person, I can have it lead you to my location.
Told you, Brando. I told you.
Is that really what you do? Because it seems like kind of the theme of this place is that we have to struggle through to build character, or whatever you said. So why would you just lead us to the right way?
You have defeated challenges set before you so far. If you simply wish to speak to me, no additional challenge or trial is necessary.
But I suspect there's still character to be built out there for us, isn't there?
Out there, of course. There are additional trials and challenges here in my sanctum. But as I said, if you simply wish to speak to me, no need for you to go through them.
What do we think?
What kind of pool is that? It's quite interesting.
It is a pool of scrying, in fact, though it has been attuned in a different way than you are probably used to, Brandel Crane.
Oh, how so?
I'm afraid the complexities are beyond your skills at divination.
Well, is this the challenge then?
Is this the challenge? Are you challenged by facts?
Is this the puzzle in this room? Is this the trial? Is to discern this scrying pool?
Not every room is a trial.
Well, if we go in there, would those mists harm us?
No.
Can I have a look at the pool?
If you wish, please come on in.
Would you recommend that we turn around and face more trials, build more character?
If your goal is to speak to me, I would recommend you allow this servant of mine to lead you to my location.
Shall we just go to his location?
If Brenda wants to look at the pool, we can look at the pool.
Ugh, Brenda doesn't want to die and go to hell, but I think I do. It's a scrying pool. Why wouldn't I?
Have at it, Brandel. I'll follow you in.
Hello. We haven't had our tokens locked yet.
Physical proximity to this unit does not require additional greeting. I can see you anywhere in my sanctum.
Enjoying it so far?
Indeed, it seemed as though you have a crutch. You rely too much on your Misty Step spell.
Yes, I'm a terribly slow study. Don't worry, I've marked it down. So, why is that? Is it particularly going through planes or teleporting? What was the actual nerf effect?
This sanctum is warded against teleportation or extra-dimensional travel.
Ah, so clever. Man, I should have realized that.
Yes, curious that your companion Cedric here knew this answer exactly. Perhaps he has a bit of portent ability himself.
Hey, see, I told you guys, I know some things, you know? A couple of times I've been right.
All right, can I look at this pool, Adam, and look at you said the ruins and stuff like that? Can I see what they're reading, what they're saying, or what it's about?
So there's runes carved into the pool's rim that glow faintly, and heat shimmers off its fetid water. So there's kind of an off odor in here, I would say. You get a bit of a I don't want to say sewage, but maybe stale water or still water that hasn't really flowed very well. It's got a bit of a bad odor to it, and there's certainly a lot of this steam that just seems to be rushing off of the pool. Other than that, just by eyeing it, you would assume it's some type of scrying pool, as has been indicated to you. You see nothing else obvious that jumps out to you.
Can I study the runes more?
Sure, yeah, give me an Arcana check. Blind check, of course. Yeah, you can see that these runes are very associated with scrying. Your presumption here is that when a scrying spell is used on this pool, it somehow enhances or it's using a particular type of scrying ability that allows this to be used as like a sensor.
Ah, I see. These are sensors, Valen. Are they working now, or do you have them turned off? Because I can't see anything in the pool.
You must not be very familiar with how magic such as this work. You must charge the pool first, and then it shows you what you are looking for.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I charge it. Okay. Where's the charging port?
You notice almost like a shuffling of this being, and then the head kind of turns and looks towards you and says, I'm afraid your humor is lost upon me. I take my studies very seriously. This is why I excel in divination magic.
Clearly, you have me befuddled. How do I get these runes to work so I can use I need to charge it?
The pool is not intended for your use. It is a tool of mine and for learning from those who are lucky enough to study under such a great master.
Is this being here that you speak through one of those students of yours?
No, of course not.
Did you make it? It's quite nice. We actually just fought a couple of constructs. They were way more rustic than this.
If you're referring to the Tao you just fought, those are classified as elementals and not constructs.
No, it was like, I don't know, like 2 weeks ago, right, Leo?
They were like robots.
Yeah, robots, I guess, yeah.
Oh, you're referring to your foray in the sewer keep in Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate.
Yes, that's correct. So is this a similar creation, something kind of like that?
Only at the most basic or fundamental level. This unit is much more potent and capable of carrying out my needs.
Unit, huh?
Yes, there are more than one.
Huh. So what's its purpose in this room? Does it release the steam? Do you use it to control the pool temperature or something?
No, it is simply here based on other requirements, but you seem to be wasting quite a bit of time. As I've indicated, if you wish to speak to me in person, I can certainly have this unit escort you to my location.
Actually, we're just looking for Myastin.
Myastin is with me.
Oh,
Well then,
Shall we?
yeah. You want to show us the way then?
So this pool is like a giant crystal ball.
Is that a question for me, the DM, or you're asking her?
Asking her.
You notice like a brief pause for a moment, and you hear, no, you don't see a crystal ball. It is water. The water is a reflective surface and can be used to reflect divination magic and see what it is that the caster who is capable and competent enough wishes to see.
Thank you.
Would you like me to lead you forward? Either step out of my way so that I can have this unit escort you, or I can just direct you and have the unit follow behind. Your choice.
lead the way.
And you notice with surprising litheness that the being suddenly steps out and begins moving.
Does it float or step?
It steps. As it gets out of this area, you notice now that it's a bit more visible based on the way it's set up. It almost looks like a humanoid made completely of glass, perhaps, or some other type of reflective material.
As it strides past me, Adam, can I see if I can maybe just touch its arm in a non-threatening way and like kind of sneaky, like just to see if I can feel the material?
Give me a sleight of hand check.
And I want to figure out just from like how heavy it's stepping on the ground if I can figure out how heavy this thing is.
Yeah, you brush your hand against it here, Cedric. You don't think anyway that the being here noticed, but as you do this, you remember the fact that there's eyes all throughout the walls and things that are following your every movement. It feels very much like a glass, perhaps, or maybe a ceramic. As far as how heavy, based on its steps, hard to say. I think you would probably guess it's not as heavy as you would expect from a true large-sized creature like one of the Dao, but probably heavier than like you guys, of course.
Okay.
Dell, you notice it begins to head your direction.
I was also going to ask Adam, since it's you're referring to it as glass, is it like translucent?
Partially, yes. So you'll
Can we
notice
see
in the
anything
image
within
here how you can see this light. There's this kind of emblem of an eye right on its chest, and you can see light seems to be coming from inside of its body.
Can I see anything in its actual body? Like,
Other than this glowing light, no particular objects or shapes or symbols.
okay. That's weird.
So as we walk, I'm going to ask Valen, so you're the one looking at us while we're at the helm of Cloak, right?
If you mean the helm and cloak, yes, it was I.
And do you have a preference between the two?
No, myself, I have never understood the conceit of two separate entrances.
You'll have to go sometimes. You'll get it.
Perhaps I may do just that.
Have you ever heard the, like, which came first, the chicken or the egg? So which gets put on first, the cloak or the helm? You know what I mean? That's what I always thought.
Once again, I'm afraid that your humor is lost on me.
So why were you scrying on me? What's your interest in me in particular?
I was trying to see if you were perhaps intelligent enough or capable enough to one day become one of my proteges.
Ah, and did you come to a conclusion?
I'm afraid you are very much lacking.
Ah, well, I have a lot to learn, for sure.
Indeed.
But at least I saw you.
Surely that must count for something on the evaluation, right?
It means he has passing familiarity with divination magic, so I suppose if you accept that as competence, then yes.
Okay, well, what would he need to change to be one of your apprentices?
Mostly his outlook on how he does things, far too guarded and predictable.
I don't know how to take that for you, Randall, I guess.
Well, I am. I have a lot on my plate.
I was hoping he was going to say like a skill or something you might study, not kind of your outlook on life.
You need to become proficient in nature skill.
I'd rather die!
Alright, as you enter this room, it is a very large room. I'm going to give you guys a quick description. Alright, this huge chamber is edged by a broad floor surrounding a sunken lower level gallery, reached by way of sloping ramps. The center of the lower level is a diamond-shaped pit that descends some 100 feet. Flanking the opening are two tall crystalline figures whose amber eyes watch you. So this can be a little bit difficult to understand based on this image, so I want to do a real quick overview of this room just so you guys have a good visual imagination of what this is. So you'll notice that there's this kind of ramp type object here. So think of this is, as far as elevation goes, it's equal with the ledge that goes all the way around here, okay? But once you step on this area here, you can either come down the ramp this way or come down the ramp this way. Either way, descending the ramp, it's about 100 feet down this ramp. Once you get to the bottom, then you're down here on the sunken floor, you might call it. So this sunken floor is about 100 feet lower than the ledge up here.
Is this part here walkable, or if you step here, you will slide?
No, it's walkable. I mean, if you were pushed or unsteady, you would certainly fall and roll or slide, but just regular movement, yeah, you can walk it.
That's got to be a crazy incline to be 100 feet.
I thought the exact same thing when I was doing the measurements here. I was like, oh, don't try to think too much math here.
We'll just suspend our disbelief on the code policies of this.
Yeah. Somebody definitely did get an architect or even a structural engineer in this place.
Leo's judging.
Yeah, you guys should see what they did with the sticks and scones. It's kind of similar.
Hey, Adam, what are these things?
Those look to be like alcoves that are on the lower level. So from where you're standing right now, you could probably just make it out. But yes, all right. So now you're on the ground floor. They're kind of like alcoves, and as you look inside, you can see a jar about 10 feet back in this small alcove.
Okay. Can I look what's in the jar?
It looks to be sealed, so think of it kind of more like an urn. So it's a jar made of this like ceramic material, but it definitely has a stopper on the top. As you glance at this one, what you notice, I would say, is this seems to have the symbol of a sword embossed upon it. As the unit here gets close to what appears to be a sarcophagus, you notice it holds its hand out near the sarcophagus and says, "I can be found inside."
And Adam, you said that this orange is further down, right?
That's pretty much all at the same level you're at right now. So that's like an odd look of the ground there, but it doesn't change the elevation.
All right. Can I look at this jar?
Yep, there is a jar in there as well, and that looks to be, it has a crystal ball embossed on the jar.
Are these canopic jars, Valen?
And you notice the unit turns and looks and says, "Yes, they are."
Well, what's inside of them? They're very curious.
Perhaps you should ask me that question. And you see once again it motions towards the sarcophagus.
Can't you open your... Wait, you said Zemu was in here. Are they like both in there? Is it private? Do we want to open your casket?
Do I get the sense that this is an ambush, Adam? Because there's no people in here.
I'd say you can certainly try an insight check on this unit.
Yeah, I want to be at the edge of the staircase. I'm just lagging super bad, so...
edge of the staircase? Yeah, I'll throw you up there.
Like, yeah, right there. Perfect. That's perfect. But, blind check coming your way. I'll insight that, because I feel like, keep saying, "Hey, come to the sarcophagus." It's like, "Hey, come eat this candy, little kid." I can't, Adam. I'm lagging so hard. Can you blind check for me?
I sure can.
I'm gonna switch over to Firefox.
So yes, I would say, Cedric, you definitely get the impression that something is fishy here based on the fact that this unit has led you down here and there's no people here like you said, and it would be seemingly odd that a being would be in a sarcophagus. I would say you're definitely getting massive something is not right here feelings.
Yeah, so at the top of the staircase, I'm just gonna shout, "Hey, everybody, back up to the top here!"
And as you say that, you notice suddenly as the all three of these beings begin to move very quickly.
That's what I was afraid of.
What the hell, Valen? What the hell? I thought you were cool.
All right, top of the round. Unfortunately, it is Cedric, so hopefully, I don't know if that browser refresh helped you out.
Yeah, it's pulling up now. The map is, it looks like the map is pixelated a little bit.
The map's kind of large in this one, unfortunately, so it will take a little bit of load.
But yeah, I'm coming. Here's my character sheet. I know what I'm going to do for my turn, though, Adam, so I'm prepared, nonetheless. I am going to reach into my little belt pocket there, and I'm going to pull out this gilded acorn that I have, and I'm going to pop open the top. And as I'm doing so, I'm that little falcon that you guys see me shoot at creatures is wrapping around my arm rapidly, and then it connects with the acorn, and then it kind of erupts out like a massive hawk. And I'm going to cast Bestial Spirit, or Summon Beast. Sorry.
All right. Yep. Go ahead and post that one.
I'm trying. It's lagging though. Sorry, guys. I think the map size is kicking my Surface tablet's butt here. All right. Here we go. Summon Beast. We're going to cast it at 2nd level.
All right, you cast the spell, and Brandel, your stone skin falls off. Where would you like your beast to appear?
I am going to put it... No, I did that on purpose, guys. I'm going to put it right in front of the one by the sarcophagus.
All right, so this is your action. And yeah, you should be able to drag that token right on. Let me know if you have any trouble getting that guy over there.
As long as it moves quickly. There we go. Okay. And then it's just going to do...
I will shrink it down to medium size real quick. There you go.
It's a massive falcon.
Yeah.
It says, in combat, the creature shares your initiative count, but it takes its turn immediately after yours. It obeys your verbal commands. No action required by you. So I don't have to use an action to command it, like a bonus action or anything. So that's my action to cast it. And I'm just going to command it to swoop over and take an attack on the one that's closest to the sarcophagus. Here's the flyby. Okay, so 1 attack. I gotta edit it. +4, perfect. Okay, looks good. Here we go.
All right, the bestial spirit tries to strike it, but is unable to do so. It doesn't look like it's adding a modifier, but you said +4, so yeah, that'll miss.
Okay. And then it's going to swoop to this side over here and kind of try to put itself in between Brandal and these creatures.
And I assume it has flyby? Where
Yes.
it doesn't provoke? Yeah, okay. All right, Lexi, you are up next.
All right. Based on where she is, how much movement would it take to get back up on the shelf?
Yes, a good question. So again, we said it's about 100 feet difference. So it's going to take you 110 feet to get back up there.
And then if she were hypothetically to dash, could she'd make it like halfway up the ledge?
Yeah, it would double your speed. So whatever your speed is, if it's like 40, then you'd get 80 up there. So you'd be 30 away from the top.
All right, she'll just do that.
All right, so you step back, dash up, and get most of the way up. We'll assume you got 30 more feet until you can be right where Cedric is at.
All right, thanks.
All right, next up is Leopold.
We're gonna... We're going to... his winged boots are gonna whirl up, and he's gonna shoot straight up into the air 30 feet. He's gonna take aim at, I guess, the main unit here in the center, and he's gonna fire off 2 crossbow bolts. Considering it was hard-ish to hit the crystal in the other room, and these look similar, he's gonna do it regular attack.
The first one will connect, however, the second one will not. Your magical bolt punctures into the creature.
Okay, so that's there.
And remind me,
Bonus.
activating your
Yep.
boots, is that any kind of action?
It is not. Let me post it.
And you're currently 30 feet off the ground, right?
Correct. Yeah, I'm just basically I always have a fly speed as long as I've got time left on my boots, which I haven't used in several days.
Sounds good.
I will click 1 minute on my timer that I try and keep.
Sounds good.
It's so specific in there. It's like because it's talking about how much time you got, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess
I
I'll
can't
check.
imagine this ever coming up where you'd be like, oh yeah, you used all 240 of your minutes.
I guess like if I was trying to fly over the Grand Canyon.
Yeah,
and figure
if it
out,
was like out of combat, sure, yeah.
So yeah, he's 30 feet up in the air. He's fired shots. Bonus action. He's gonna send Silver over to Old Man Brandel. She's gonna, I guess, dash. We're all like going to protect the old man. She's gonna dash and just hang out there for the moment. That's my turn.
All right, you hear a voice now usher from this unit. It's the same voice, however, and you hear a cackling laughter. You will never break through my sarcophagus. As you notice this unit moves forward.
See, this is why we don't trust people, because when we do, it goes badly.
Brandel, you'll notice this. Oh, actually, have you since moved? Because I show you different on my screen than the recording screen is. So I might be lagging. Where are you at right now?
I am right. You're right there in melee.
Oh, okay, so the recording screen must be lagging then, because I actually show you 10 feet further back, so that's weird. Anyway.
Yeah, he moved right before you locked tokens, before you said that stuff was going down.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, I think I was here and I got pushed back to there.
Gotcha. Okay, that might be why. All right, so yeah, as this unit moves forward, you notice it reaches backwards with this crystalline hand and slams out towards you. I will need a defensive roll, please.
Hey, Adam, my screen was lagging too, and I wanted to put Silver in position to intercept that. Can we say Silver actually moved here? She had the movement for it.
Yeah, we could say that.
So that I can disadvantage this first attack.
I'll let you disadvantage the second one, since this one's already been posted.
Okay, so I'm going to use inspiration on this.
Okay, yep, reroll. All right, this attack will smash in, so you will burn your shield spell slot, so go ahead and burn that usage. But unfortunately, this will get through and still strike you. All right, as this massive punch comes through, hitting you solidly, you suffer 32 points of force damage. It then reels back for a second strike. I will need a second defensive roll, Brandon. And this one will also get +5 thanks to your shield.
And disadvantage.
Right, yep, so now...
Or advantage, whatever.
Advantage, yep. All right, so with the bonus shield, total 31, yes, you are able to evade the second strike. And Brandel, it is your turn next.
Okay. Action disengage. Actually, bonus action shove. Try to shove him, so I'll do a spell effect.
Yeah. You are unable to shove this creature.
Alright, action disengage. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Yep, and then again, just quick reminder for anybody that's going to attempt to go up this ledge, even though the physics are very strange, it is 100 feet to get back up to the top. All right, Dell, your turn.
Okay, so 25, 35. So my channel fear is 30 feet, right? So if I hit one of their squares, they have to make the save, right?
Yes. As long as the aura would touch at least, as long as the square that they're in is affected at 50% or more based on your aura, yes.
50% more, okay. So that wouldn't, that'd be 50%. I think that would be 50%. So I'm going to move here, and then I'm going to channel my Fear Presence.
All right, and so this could potentially affect all three, so go ahead and give me 3 spell effect rolls, and I'll go from left to right.
All right, let me toggle it first. And I have to, do I click my token for that, right?
You do, yep. Click your token, and then there's one of those action buttons at the top, and it will say spell effect roll.
1, 2, and 3.
You notice not one of these creatures is affected by your conquering presence.
Okay. If that's the case, then I am going to quicken spell Fireball.
Okay, yeah, feel free. Oh, so we've got that one built up in the smart AoE thing. So yeah, if you go over to your macros and find cast-fireball, go ahead and click that and put it where you like. Actually, you know what? This one, this one might be easier to do by template, to be honest with you, Dell. So if you want to just drag a template on and drop it.
Okay.
Is that where you'd like it?
Yep, just so I'm out of the range, but it hits the sarcophagus in this guy.
All right, you notice the flames do lick onto the sarcophagus, but it doesn't seem to have much effect. Go ahead and give me a spell effect roll. So click on yourself and do spell effect roll against the creature that's affected, the unit. All right, you notice that he manages to succeed this and suffers half of the damage. Okay, so that was your action. All right, yeah, here we go. All right, so this one will move, and he's going to come down to here, and he's got 5. He'll move a little bit more, so he'll get to here. As he gets next to you, Dell, he is going to slam onto you. I'll need a defense roll, please. All right, that causes a fumble for him, so go ahead and roll fumble, and let's see what it is. All right, so yes, I'm going to tweak this description a little bit to say that he's a little bit off of balance as he swings at you a second time, now at disadvantage. So go ahead and make your defensive roll at advantage. Yes, and that second strike will also not connect. All right, this one is going to step down to here, and he's now going to attack you down on a flank, so I'll need another defensive roll, and I'm going to take 2 off your defensive roll. All right, you managed to evade this first strike as a second one comes in. Yeah, once again, you're quickly on your feet and are not struck as we move to Ramban.
Okay, let me get out my calculator here. Alright, I would like to move right here. Do I get attack of opportunity by that big guy?
You get 2 opportunity attacks, so give me a defensive roll and then another one.
Oh boy.
Alright, you managed to evade the first, but not the second. So the one to your east swings out, but you just duck under it, but the other one then catches you right in the chin for 32 points of force damage.
Okay, I am going to cast Aid at level 5. Increases by 5 for every point above, or for every level above 3. So I think that is... My brain can't work. 20?
So I would say you can hit Brandel and you can hit Leopold here, and of course you can hit Dell. You would not be able to hit Cedric or Lexi though.
Oh, I'm gonna pick myself as the third target.
Okay, I'm sorry. Who were the first 2?
Brandel and Leopold.
Brandel, Leopold. Okay, so you said at level 5. So 2 is 5, so 3 is 10, 4 is 15, 5 would be 20.
Not that I really want to turn down free hit points, but you should give them to Dell because he's about to get.
Well, unfortunately, he won't be able to make that decision based on your impact or your response. So yeah, he would cast this, and it would just take effect on you.
I can heal Dell, but if I heal you or Brandel right now, a bunch of it goes to waste.
To how many?
20.
Increase your max by 20.
Yeah, current and max by 20. All right, so that is your action, Ramban. Anything else?
That is it for me. Oh, actually, wait, that's not true. I'm going to harness Divine Power.
All right, bonus action to convert a Channel Divinity into a spell slot. All right.
And I'll do that after I pass here.
All right, well, let's try to get through one more round, guys. Hopefully this won't take us too much past our 10 o'clock, but let's give it a shot. All right, Cedric, your turn.
Okay, so Cedric will fire an arrow from his bow at the one to the east, northeast of Dell there.
Okay. Yes, that attack will connect.
I'm gonna send another shot that way. Nice.
That'll be a crit. Yeah, go ahead and roll yourself a crit. Maximum result twice, and minor injury and major injury. That could be pretty good. All right, let me find your max damage here. Okay, disadvantage on con saves. All right.
Do I do a spell effect roll for that con save?
It won't really be a spell effect roll. You would have to beat his constitution. You know what? For now, since I haven't taken the time to convert that, I'll just roll that as a save for him. He is not affected by that. Okay, so he has disadvantage on con saves. Okay, so I will give him a flag. All right, so that is your 2 shots. Anything else?
Yeah, I'm going to command the bird to attack the same one and pester it. So it's going to swoop over. And it's going to take its small attack, and I updated the damage and the modifier.
Yes, that will connect.
Um,
And then you just click on the word
There it
attack
is,
in
yeah.
chat. Yeah. All right, now let me just double check. I don't think that says it deals magic damage, right?
Don't think so. Hang
All
on.
right. It does seem to wound it though.
Yeah, it's not magical damage, no. Yeah, it doesn't list anything saying it. Okay, and then I'm going to move back towards the doors and just say, hey, we're pretty outnumbered here. Let's get a better position.
Okay, next up is Lexi.
All right, how far are each of these guys from Lexi approximately?
So right now you're about 70 feet up the ramp. So it would be 70 feet down and another 40 across. So actual range right now, I would say, is about 40 feet. If you're asking like what range would a spell have to be, well, actually, let's call it 70. It would be 70 feet from you.
All right, she would like to activate her circlet of blasting on all 3 of them.
1 ray for each of them.
Yes, please.
All right, the first one will miss.
And there should be no rage damage. Sorry, I forgot to unclick it.
Yep, no worries. It missed anyway. And then you can post that twice more. That one will also miss, as will that one. So unfortunately, all 3 rays will fly past them.
All right. She will... she'll move... Actually, she'll stay where she is.
All right, so you're still 70 feet up the ramp as we move to Leopold, who's 30 feet in the air.
Leo's going to move another 30 feet up in the air.
Okay, so 60 feet in the air.
And he's going to fire 2 crossbow bolts. Regular ones.
And who is this target?
Red dot.
Red dot. Okay, first one will connect. As will the second.
Okay, so he's 60 feet up. He's going to have Silver move away. and as long as nothing punches her and knocks her out, my intention is to get Silver next to Brandel, at least for this turn. So if for some reason I'm off, that's where I'm trying to move her
No,
to.
you got it. You're right on the money.
Okay. Just know it's all being wonky. So she's gonna hold an attack action to attack any of the golems that get near them.
Okay.
That's her and my turn.
All right, this one is going to make his way over to here and attack Ramban. Ramban, I'll need a defensive roll, please. You manage to evade the first strike as its other arm comes flashing in and connects with you for 33 points of force damage. Brandel is up next.
Okay. So the creature next to Ramban, I'm going to say some magic words and point my finger at it and stuff. I'm going to cast Well of Force around that creature. It's on the ground, right?
It is on the ground, yep.
And how tall is it?
Probably close to 9 or 10 feet tall.
I think a Well of Force can take a large creature, 10 by 10, in a cup. It did with the other guy. All right, I'm going to try to Well and Force that guy.
Go ahead and post it. All right, you notice as your Wall of Force tries to settle on top of him, it fails.
All right, action's done. I don't know, but that's probably... I'm going to move up here. Maybe that's all my movement for 30 feet, I would guess.
Yep, so 30 feet, so you still have 70 feet to get to the top of the ramp.
What's the better angle to try to push him away from Ramban? Should I go one more?
If you've already moved 30 feet, I think that's the limit of your movement, right?
Okay, well, I mean, I want to get through him. So yeah, I'll try to push him that way if I can.
All right, yeah, give me a spell effect roll. He is not pushed.
Alright, action, bonus action, movement. Thank you.
All right, next up is Dell.
Okay. Dell is going to bust out this new sword and make 2 attacks against the one with the red dot.
So by this new sword, I assume you mean the Sunblade.
Yep, the Sunblade.
All right, so I think it said you have to use a bonus action to activate it, right?
Oh, it does?
I think there was something you had to do to turn the blade on.
Yep, you gotta go.
Make that noise, just like that.
And that's the command word. That's it.
Let's see, double checking real quick. Yeah, so while grasping the hilt, you can use a bonus action to cause a blade of pure radiance to spring into existence. So you grab the hilt, you're going to use a bonus action, and then you notice this line of radiant energy.
Yeah, if that's gonna burn it, then I'm not gonna use it. I'll just use the staff instead.
Okay, sure.
That's fine. I guess I didn't say that I had it out. So staff is striking.
All right, and who is your target?
The one with the red dot.
Okay, yeah, that'll connect.
Okay, I'm gonna pump some 3 charges and a 3rd level smite. So that would be 4 levels of 4 die of smite, right? At 3rd level, so 2, 3, 4, and then
That
3
sounds right.
charges of the staff.
All right, you smash out your strike, hitting him solidly and wounding this unit.
All right, my next attack.
Yeah, that'll connect as well.
I am going to hit it with another smite at 4th level. So that should be five die, right? That's max. Or no, max is 6, right, for smite?
I think it does max out at 5.
Okay, perfect. No, it maxes out at 6.
Oh, 6? Okay. No.
Yeah, but it's still 5 for a 4th level.
All right, yeah, hitting it solidly once again. You can see a tiny little hairline fracture seems to burst into the being. Wounded, but obviously still quite stable.
They're trying to figure out here. Let's see here. So I'm gonna. I meant to read it real quick, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast this, and I'm just going to run straight to the south as I cast it with using 2 sorcery points to upcast it to a bonus action.
All right, so you quicken spell that. Okay, so let's see, 20-foot radius sphere, so that will be the same as a fireball. So you can drag that template on and put it where you'd like for that effect.
Right there.
Okay, now I think this will affect you as well, though, right?
Probably, yeah. But that's okay because I'm using, because I was here, so I'm going to use all of my movement to try to get out of it.
All right, so yep, difficult terrain.
Yep. So 5, 10, 15 gets me to there.
You're still in it there.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. So if that was the case, then maybe I shifted there. 5, 10, and that gets me right out, right? And then...
Yep, that would get you out. You technically have 5 feet of movement left.
Okay. I'll go here, and then... Any creature that starts its turn in the area takes 2d6. Okay. So then I don't get any damage, right?
Nope, you're outside of it.
But then they can't see you currently.
Correct.
And then that will end my turn.
All right, so at the start of his turn, you can make a spell effect roll to see if he's affected by this. He is not affected.
Okay.
He will move down to here, and then he is going to attack you twice now, so I'll need 2 defensive rolls. All right, nice. Yeah, that will be a fumble again, so go ahead and roll another fumble for him. Okay, so anybody that attacks this guy will have advantage. So let me put a little marker on him. And then he will attack you a second time, another defensive roll. Nice. All right, so they can't fumble on the second ones, but yes, that will certainly be a miss.
And, oh yeah, he's made a save, but doesn't he still take damage?
I don't believe so. I think it said only if you fail, right?
You could...
It says any creature that starts its turn in the area takes 2d6 cold damage. Okay, so you notice the cold does not affect him, and that he doesn't end his turn there, so that is his turn. On this guy's turn, you can roll a spell effect roll again to see if the dex part hits him. Okay, so that will not affect him, and then he'll move to here, and then he is going to attack you on that flank, Dell. So I'll need another defensive roll.
Is he blind?
He is not blind here because his total space is not 50% covered by it. Okay, so this first one, he will manage to hit you, Dell. And that'll be for 23 points of force damage. And once you apply that, it should automatically roll concentration. Okay, so you manage to maintain, and you have Warcaster as well, right? And then he'll attack you a second time, so second defense roll, please. Once again, he will get through your defenses and hit you for 27 points of force. All right, and then we'll let you roll that concentration, see if that drops as we move to Ramban.
Okay, what's the right play here?
What? All that time you didn't think of what you were going to do?
No, I'm watching Netflix. No, I'm kidding.
Stranger Things is on, guys.
I haven't watched that yet because season 3 was the same as season 2, which was the same as season 1, and I don't feel like getting tricked again.
Season 4 is pretty good.
But is it the same as season 3, which was the same as season 2, which was the same as season 1?
I wouldn't say so.
Does Will get a better haircut?
Actually, yes.
He does.
That's a crime that they make that kid have that haircut.
You remember Coconut Head? Did you guys ever watch Ned's Declassified?
Missed it.
I don't know that one.
Oh, I got you. I'll post a gift.
Alright, I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on Dell at level 3. Ignore the radiant damage. I'm never taking that off.
Alright, so Dell gets 20 HP back. Nice.
And then you can use your reaction to attack this guy.
Okay. So, and it's a melee attack, correct?
Yeah, I think it says weapon attack. Unfortunately, that will not connect.
It burned my channel. Okay.
All right, anything else on your turn, Ramban?
Oh, I don't know. I can't get out of here. Because if I leave, I feel like Dell dies. And the turn order is really hurting us here. But yeah, I guess I can step back. Nope, can't step back and take an opportunity attack. I'm in checkmate here. I can't step in any direction. Wait, I can step here.
All right, is that where you'd like to end your turn?
I don't know if that's helpful, yes.
All right, so as we're at the top of the next round, guys, let's go ahead and pause it here, ending off in a very bad spot for sure, as you guys are facing 3 of these beings that seem pretty capable at this point. You're getting the sinking suspicion that Valen has led you into an ambush and triggered it perfectly. So we'll pick up next week, and we'll see how well everybody does and see if everybody survives. Everybody have a great night.
Thanks, Adam. You too.
Good night, guys.
I know that. Good